Stockton, Michael Tricarico. So happy to have you joining us. Evan, a wild game yesterday, 17-12 win for Louisville, a game that Syracuse trailed by 9. They led 11-10, they lost by 5. We're expecting an entertaining game as well today.
Yeah, a lot of weird stuff happened last night. Let's find out what happens today in an education day, and let's see how Denji Reyes does, Michael. I'm curious to see how he'll do against a Louisville lineup that is loaded.
Well, the first pitch missed the zone to Will Benson. Batter hitting left-handed, 1-0. Is low and inside for ball 2. First pitch comes at 11:07. It is 70 degrees here in Syracuse. Sun's actually behind some clouds with a nice light breeze blowing, helping to cool things off. 2-0. Over the plate for a called strike on Benson. Denji Reyes has been pretty good with Syracuse so far this season. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. It's on the inside corner for another strike. Off-speed pitch from Reyes. Last game, Denji went 5 1/3 innings, gave up 3 hits and 2 runs, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. 2-2, ground ball first base side foul. Reyes retired 15 of the last 17 batters he faced and 16 of 20 batters total. That's sort of been the case for Denji Reyes, where he's gone on these long stretches of getting batters out. 2-2, swing at a clip foul. Retired 11 of the last 12 batters he faced in Buffalo 2 starts ago, and then it was his last home start, which was his first start with Syracuse, where Reyes retired the first 11 batters he faced. 2-2, popped in the air, third base side, foul out of play. Then he allowed 3 consecutive runs in the 4th inning of that start. Here's been the problem for the Syracuse Mets all season long, and it's across nearly every pitcher that the Mets have had. Here's the 2-2 to Benson, swinging a ground ball softly hit first base side foul. Syracuse has failed to get batters out when they get 2 strikes on them. The Mets, in 2 strike counts this season, rank in the bottom 5 in strikeouts and in the top 5 in hits allowed. Here's the 2-2 to Benson. Swinging a ground ball softly hit to first. Fielded over at first, and the play is made by DJ Stewart, and there's 1 away here in the first. So it takes 9 pitches, but Denji Reyes has the first out of the ball game. Gives us a chance to tell you about the Syracuse defense. Danny Mendick in left, Lorenzo Cedrola in center, Jalen Davis in right. Stewart's at first, Ronnie Mauricio another start at second, Luis Guillormes at short, Jonathan Arauz at third, and Nick Meyer behind the plate. First pitch to Nick Martini over the plate for strike 1. Mets open to bounce back after a loss yesterday, 0-1, inside for a ball. Syracuse gave up 3 runs in the first. We talked about it, Evan, though. The Syracuse defense could have done a much better job helping Jose Budo out. 1-1, inside ball 2.
Yeah, it was one of those deals where, yes, the defense it could have helped him out. There were errors, but also there were little moments, right? It could have been errors.
2-1, swing a fly ball, hit towards left. Mendick drifting over towards the line, has a beat on the ball, is underneath and makes the catch. The second out of the inning.
I think the best way to describe the Syracuse defense right now is kind of the growing maturity of Ronnie Mauricio at second. He shows you flashes, but then it's the little nuances of playing the position that Ronnie's still getting every single day. All right, Michael, I'm excited to watch this guy play baseball.
Elly De La Cruz might be the best prospect in all of baseball right now. Here's the first pitch, and it misses high for ball 1. Why are you so excited to watch Elly De La Cruz, Evan?
Well, he's a 21-year-old who's big and strong and a switch hitter and throws 100 miles per hour from shortstop.
1-0, swing and a miss for strike 1.
And, man, just being around the clubhouse for Louisville the last 36 hours, you can see the infectious enthusiasm he brings, even when he's playing against your team.
1-1, De La Cruz takes, high for ball 2. Is there a matchup that features 2 more exciting prospects than Syracuse-Louisville with Elly De La Cruz and Ronnie Mauricio?
I don't know. At any level, a minor league ball, man. I don't know.
Here's the 2-1 pitch. De La Cruz swings, hits it in the air to center field, but Lorenzo Cedrola is there, and Denji Reyes has worked a 1-2-3 top of the first for the Syracuse Mets. Sold out crowd at NBT Bank Stadium on Education Day. We go bottom 1 next on Valley Live at the Score 1260. Back at NBT Bank Stadium, bottom of the first inning, Syracuse And Louisville are scoreless. Danny Mendick leads off for the Syracuse Mets, facing Andrew Abbott, a left-handed thrower for Louisville. He's been one of Louisville's best pitchers all season long, and his first pitch to Mendick misses high for ball one. Abbott 5 starts, 25 innings pitched, a 2-0 record with a 3.60 ERA. Works from an abbreviated full windup. Here's the 1-0. Swing and a miss, strike one. 25 innings, 19 hits, 10 runs, all of them earned 11 walks to 37 strikeouts. Impressive from Abbott. Biggest issue has been home runs. He's given up 5 of them this season. 1-1. Swing and a miss for strike two. We're really working the outer edge against Mendick, a right-handed batter. Sold out crowd on an education day at the ballpark. Local kids getting to the finish line of their school year, enjoying a nice day out. 1-2. Swinging a chopper to the right side. Fielded at second by Reynolds, and the former Syracuse Met throws to first in time for the out. Louisville's defense on the right side features Reynolds at second and Encarnacion Strand at first. Ellie De La Cruz, the shortstop. Alejo Lopez is at third. Nick Martinez at left field. Michael Ciani in center, and Will Benson, the right fielder, with Johnny Pareda behind the plate catching. Here's Ronnie Mauricio, a switch hitter, batting from the right-hand side. First pitch, swing and a clip foul for strike one. Talked a little bit about how, Syracuse fares from one side of the plate or the other when it comes to Ronnie Mauricio. And, without a doubt, Mauricio has certainly shown so much power from the left side of the plate. 15 doubles, 6 homers, and a .354 batting average. Pitch hit in the air out towards left field. Martinez moving back towards the track, and he makes the catch. And where Mauricio might lack with some power from the right-hand side, he certainly makes up for in batting average. A .356 batting average against left-handed pitching. Here he flies out to left. There is a bit of a breeze that is blowing in from the outfield. I'm sure that didn't help. So 2 quick outs for Abbott. Now here's DJ Stewart. First pitch, Stewart takes on the outside corner for strike one. Good day at the plate yesterday for DJ. Picked up 2 hits plus a walk, part of a 2-for-4 night. 0-1. Stewart takes down low for ball one. Syracuse wearing the alternate orange jerseys today. Orange tops with Syracuse written across the chest in royal blue, outlined in white. 1-1. Low ball 2. Home white pants with the royal blue pinstripes running vertically down them. Meanwhile, Louisville wearing their alternate red jerseys with bats written in white cursive across the chest. 2-1. Swinging a pop foul back and to the left. Moves the count to 2-2. Playing here at NBT Bank Stadium. Sun is peeked out from behind the clouds on this Wednesday morning, soon to turn afternoon. No score between the Bats and the Mets here in the bottom of the first inning. 2 outs and nobody on. Here's the 2-2. Swinging a clip foul to the backstop.
You gotta love how committed to the bit all of the kids are, right? You tell them to make noise, or you tell them to, respond to the cheer, and gosh darn it, they'll do it.
Well, they oblige, that's for sure. 2-2. Swinging a high pop-up. Foul ground first base side. Over in foul territory. Encarnacion Strand makes the catch to end the inning. 1-2-3 first for both the Bats and the Mets. We go second inning next on Bally Live on the Score 1260. Back at NBT Bank Stadium for the start of the second inning. Christian Encarnacion Strand leads off. First pitch from Denji Reyes, a called strike on the inside corner. Off-speed pitch at 77. The count is 0-1. Here is the 0-1. Swinging a fly ball in the air towards left. Mendick going back, looking up, and watching this ball go out of the ballpark onto the 315 bullpen barn. Encarnacion Strand with his 11th home run of the season in Louisville for the second consecutive game has scored first. It is 1-0 Bats as Encarnacion Strand rounds the bases to a slew of boos from the kids on Education Day.
I mean, you knew Encarnacion Strand was going to go deep at some point this week, sooner rather than later. This guy's got about as prodigious power as you'll find in AAA baseball, as you'll find in the minors, honestly. When he gets a hold of one, he does not get cheated.
So it's 1-0 Louisville, and now here's Matt Reynolds. First pitch, the right-handed batter. Fastball in the outside corner for strike one. Reynolds, in his return to NBT Bank Stadium for an opposing team, had a heck of a day yesterday. A 4-hit day for the 32-year-old. 0-1, swinging a loop down the right field line. Long run for Jalen Davis, and this ball is foul. Ends up to the right of the painted line on the grass down the right field side. Reynolds was a triple shy of the cycle yesterday. RBI double, 3-run home run, and a pair of singles as part of a 4-for-6 night. He's always been a bit of a doubles machine, has 10 for the season to go along with 6 home runs now. Reynolds played for the Syracuse Chiefs as part of the Washington Nationals organization in 2018 and then started last year with Syracuse with the Mets. Here's the 0-2. Reynolds takes high for ball one. Reynolds got some time in the major leagues with New York, was designated for assignment, and the Cincinnati Reds claimed him off waivers. Spent much of last year in the majors with Cincinnati. 1-2, called strike three on the outside corner. Excellent off-speed pitch from Reyes. Reynolds knew it right away. First strikeout for Denji, and now there's one away for TJ Hopkins.
Yeah, I think for all of us who followed last night's ball game, the 17-12 win for Louisville, right? We're all kind of expecting the snowball to start rolling down the hill again today in terms of offense and in terms of runs. It's on the Mets to limit it here.
Well, here's the first pitch to Hopkins, fouled straight back for strike one.
It's on both teams to limit it. These two teams are going to score runs this week. They have consistently proven at the AAA level that they're among the better offenses in the league. So which pitching staff can limit damage all week, that's who's going to end up winning this series, in my opinion.
Here's the 0-1 to Hopkins. High for a ball, in which offense is going to take advantage mostly of the opportunities that they get. Yesterday, Louisville was 8 for 19 with runners in scoring position. Here's the 1-1. Hopkins swings and lifts it in the air to center. Citrola has taken a couple of steps towards right center, moving a little bit faster over to the gap and makes the catch. Strong breeze blowing left to right, and that ball got caught up in the wind, but plenty of time for Citrola to jog on over to the right center field gap to make the catch. It's also interesting to hear how many of the kids still know songs from maybe before their time. Here's Michael Ciani. First pitch. This is outside against the left-handed batter for ball one.
Yeah, there is a lot of Moana. There is a lot of Frozen being played all throughout the day.
Pitch, popped up, foul, towards us. Lean out of the booth, Evan.
It's over my
just on the roof. Is it going to bounce back down? No.
Probably.
Bummer. You're ready for it. That would have been awesome. Can you imagine catching one of those outside of the booth? It's got to take the perfect angle.
Yes.
Here's the 1-1. Ciani takes over the plate for strike two. We could broadcast from the roof one time. Imagine
you know, honestly, Michael, because I still got the cowboy hat up here, I'm just going to put it out. Yeah. Why not?
Here's the 1-2 to Ciani. He's swinging a line drive towards right field. That's down for a hit, fair and rolling all the way to the wall. Ciani around first, heading for second as Davis fires this ball in. It's a 2-out double for Michael Ciani. The Bats have a runner in scoring position with Johnny Pareda coming to the plate.
Well, I've learned one thing so far on Education Day is Parada comes to the plate. They're playing Old Town Road, and all the kids still love that song. How did Old Town Road become like a kid's anthem? I hate to break it to you, the song was not made for children.
Well,
I'm just saying. It's like Hot in Here by Nelly becoming a kid's song. That one's not a kid's song.
Here's the first pitch to Johnny Pareda is on the inside corner, strike one. Maybe the same way that you enjoy Baby Shark. That was not made
It was
for
made
a 27-year-old.
Well, it was made for children. That's why they love it.
I guess you're still I'm saying the kids like it,
but kid at heart.
Here's the 0-1 to Pareda. Swinging a fly ball in the air down the right field line. Long run for Davis towards foul territory. It's out of play. Education Day at the ballpark on a Wednesday morning. soon to turn afternoon. Syracuse trails 1-0. Louisville with a runner at second base. It's Michael Ciani. Johnny Parade is the batter, a 26-year-old right-handed hitter. Played in AAA with Sacramento last season. Down to the count here, 0-2 as Reyes is set. Here's the pitch, and it misses outside, ball 1. Sort of dissecting why Syracuse pitchers just have lacked strikeouts when they get ahead of the count on opposing batters. Here's the 1-2, runners taken off for third. Pitch misses high, throw down at third. They got him. Not a great jump from second for Michael Ciani, and well, Syracuse catches him stealing to end the inning. 1 run for Louisville. We go bottom 2 next. It's 1-0 Bats on Bally Live with the score 12-60. Bottom of the second inning at NBT Bank Stadium, where the Syracuse Mets trail 1-0 against the Louisville Bats. Andrew Abbott back to the mound. He faces Jalen Davis to begin the frame. The first pitch is swung on and missed for strike 1. Davis yesterday for Syracuse picked up a hit and a walk, part of a 1-for-4 night. The hit was an RBI double. We've seen some good power from Davis this season. Pitch outside for a ball. In fact, half of Davis's hits are extra base hits. 30 total hits, 15 have gone for extra bases, 8 doubles, 6 homers, and a triple. 1-1, swing and a miss for strike 2. 236 batting average and on-base percentage at .333. Davis with the .790 on-base plus slugging. 1-2. This is high for ball 2. It's interesting how OPS, on-base plus slugging percentage, has really taken over, where some ballparks, instead of listing batting average, just list the OPS. 2-2, Davis fouls straight back. And it's a good indicator of the combination of how often a guy gets on base and what they do when they get on. Slugging percentage is calculated based on, well, a home run being worth 4 times what a single is worth. Here's the 2-2 to Davis. Swing and a miss for strike 3. So Davis strikes out. Abbott picks up his first strikeout, and there's one away for Luis Guillorme. Guillorme recently optioned down from New York, has reached base in all 4 games he's played with Syracuse, with hits in 3 out of 4. First pitch, Guillorme takes. Called strike on the outer edge. Guillorme looks back to the home plate umpire as if to say, are you sure you heard that one right in your ear? And it's a full automated ball strike system, meaning the umpire has an earpiece in his ear. 0-1. This is low for a ball, and it's the automated system that has the strike zone and then just relays to the umpire ball or strike. The home plate umpire just signals that to everybody else. 1-1 on Guillorme. In a 1-0 ball game, the pitch is high for ball 2. Here's the 2-1 from Abbott. And this is high, ball 3. Packed crowd at the ballpark on an education day. 2 education days this year, and they are both sold out. We were getting emails from some schools asking if they could get some tickets a couple months ago. 3-1. Popped foul back into the left. And the unfortunate answer was, no, sorry, we're sold out, but hopefully we could be in touch for next year. This is always one of the more popular field trips for the kids to take. 3-2, Guillorme swings and fouls it straight back. Nice reward for the kids and the staff members as well. Although I still can't imagine having to kind of try and corral 20, 25, 30 kids.
I think I speak for everyone in society. We need to pay the teachers and save the whales.
Here's the 3-2 to Guillorme. He's swinging a miss, strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts for Abbott. 2 away with Jonathan Arau, who's coming to the plate.
You know, Andrew Abbott a guy who, no matter what level he's been in minor league baseball, racked up the strikeouts. He's got a really tantalizing mix of pitches. It's a fastball that doesn't sit too terribly high in the 90s, but it's good enough to keep guys off balance because of the other things that he throws.
First pitch to Jonathan Arauz. Inside corner, strike one.
The big new pitch for this former Virginia Cavalier is a sweeping pitch that's kind of become in vogue. Well, Andrews kind of mastered that pitch, and opposing batters hate seeing it because they're usually swinging and missing at it.
Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss. Strike two. Arauz had 2 hits yesterday. Both of them were home runs. Takes the timeout he's allotted per plate appearance. I think if the kids knew what kind of cleats that Arauz had on, he might become their favorite player. Lion King themed cleats. 0-2. Arauz swings and misses for strike three. 1-2-3 inning for Abbott. All of them strikeouts. We go to the third next. 1-0 Bats in front on the score 12-60.
Top of the third inning, Louisville 1, Syracuse nothing. Johnny Pereda, who was batting last inning, bats again this inning. Pitch from Denji Reyes, inside for ball one. Pereda was at the plate, and Michael Ciani was caught stealing to end the inning, so Johnny comes back up to the plate. The line of the pitch from Reyes, swinging a ground ball, base hit, right field. Breaking ball that caught the outer half, and Pereda hustles to first with a leadoff single. Louisville has the leadoff guy on for the second time today. Technically, the leadoff guy was on base in the second inning, but Christian Encarnacion Strand hit a home run to lead off the inning, so technically he was on base, but he was never really on base. He touched them all and then walked to the dugout. You catch my drift? Here's the 9-hitter, Alejo Lopez, first pitch, and he takes high for ball one. Lopez was the leadoff guy yesterday, and he had quite the day. He was 4 for 6. The entire Louisville offense had quite the day. They had 19 hits. 1-0. Outside 2-0. Denji Reyes, along with that home run to Encarnacion Strand in the second, gave up a double to Ciani, but he was caught trying to steal third, so he was off the base pass pretty quickly. 2-0. And it's a strike on the outside corner. A fastball at 90 from Denji Reyes. Denji's gone back and forth between the Bigs and AAA this year. Today's his 5th start with Syracuse in AAA. He's also made 6 appearances with the big club in New York. 2-1. Outside 3-1. Missed with the breaking ball. Will Benson on deck, Nick Martini after that, then Ellie De La Cruz would be after that. 1-0 Louisville, top of the third. Pereda off first, nobody out. 3-1, inside corner, a strike. Fastball at 91, and the count's 3-2. Lopez, a switch hitter, batting left against the righty Reyes. Denji working from the stretch, first base side of the rubber. Comes set near his back right hip. Runner goes. 3-2 lined out of play. You know, you can kind of see that Pereda was thinking about going the last couple of pitches. He is not a prototypical base-stealing threat, so Denji Reyes wasn't even looking over at first. And Pereda thought, okay, you're not going to look at me? Sure, I'll try and steal. If I was a betting man, I think Denji's throwing over. Just kidding, he's not. 3-2, ground ball, base hit, right field. Pereda will turn second and stop as Louisville has begun the inning with consecutive singles and put 2 on with nobody out for the top of their lineup. All right, here comes Will Benson. He comes to the plate as the SpongeBob SquarePants theme plays in the background. There's actually a connection with SpongeBob and Will Benson. I'll get to it after this pitch. First one, swinging a fly ball on a play. So last year, Will Benson made his big league debut with Cleveland. He was a Guardians first-round pick once upon a time. His teammate, Oscar Gonzalez, of course, during the playoffs became infamous for Cleveland because his walk-up song was the SpongeBob theme song. 0-1, low for ball one. Oscar hit a big home run in the playoffs for Cleveland last year. And every time he came to the plate at Progressive Field, as the SpongeBob theme would play, 45,000 of Cleveland's finest would sing along to the SpongeBob theme like they were 7 years old again. 1-1, Benson takes low, 2-1. I mean, I'm no SpongeBob discriminator. I'm wearing SpongeBob shoes inside the Visit Syracuse broadcast booth today. Kyrie Irving came out with a line of shoes a few years ago that looked like SpongeBob characters, and yeah, I bought the SpongeBob pair. How couldn't you? 2-1, line drive, base hit right field. This one is rolling to the wall and it's trouble. Pareda around third scoring. Lopez stops at third as Will Benson pulls into second with a double. And right now this third inning is going from bad to worse. It started with back-to-back singles for Louisville. Now Benson doubles. It's 2-0 bats, and they have second and third, nobody out. The first two hits were pretty innocuous singles to right field, but that double for Benson was roped. Benson hasn't quite lived up to his prospect billing. He was 14th overall picked once upon a time by Cleveland back in 2016. But when Will gets a hold of one with his size at 6'5", 230, he's really an enticing prospect still, only 24 years old. We got a delay here. Mets manager Dick Scott popping out of the dugout and talking with a home plate umpire who's also talking with the Mets pitching coach Kyle Driscoll. Tanner Dobson, the home plate umpire, was talking with Driscoll, and now he's chatting with Dick Scott, who's standing down that third base line and pointing to the pitcher, Denji Reyes. There's nobody warm in that Mets bullpen. They're not about to pull Denji here. But Dick is taking off the sunglasses, and as he holds them in his left hand, he's having a pretty interesting conversation here with Dobson, the home plate umpire. He continues to point at second base. Driscoll, the pitching coach, was out pretty darn quickly after that double by Benson. And now Dick Scott has come out and continued to talk to Dobson, who right now is putting his right finger, his pointer finger on his right hand in a circular motion. Now Dick shrugs his shoulders like Jordan after he hit all those threes in the NBA Finals and leaves. He was talking with Dobson. Now he's going to go and talk with a third base umpire, the crew chief, Jacob Metz. Kyle Driscoll, the pitching coach for the Mets, leaves, walks down the third base line. Dick Scott continues to talk about as animatedly as you ever see Dick. He's a more calm and collected fellow out there. The sunglasses have been put, by the way, from his left hand on top of his orange and blue cap. Just finished the conversation with Metz and walks away. That was interesting. So after all that, you got Benson at second. His double just brought in Pareda. Lopez at third. Nobody out, top three. It's 2-0 Louisville. And Nick Martini's at the plate. He homered yesterday. First pitch. Breaking ball. Outside, apparently. Ball one. Automated ball strike system on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday in minor league baseball. So there's no one to complain about that call to except a computer. 1-0. Swing and a miss. Best pitch of the day for Reyes. Buried a changeup low, and Martini was well early. Denji Reyes has got to work out of danger here. Louisville's already scored in the third. They're up 2-0, and they have second and third, nobody out. 1-1. High, back pick to third, and the runner is safe. Whew. Lopez was nearly out. Meyer, the catcher, quickly popped out of the crouch and snapped one down to third. Jonathan Arauz nearly got the tag down on Lopez. Mets catcher Meyer has already thrown out a base runner today. He's feeling it. Almost threw out another guy. That really would have helped Reyes' escape act. 2-1. Outside. 3-1. You know, I wouldn't recommend pitching to the guy on deck with the bases loaded. It's Ellie De La Cruz, maybe the best prospect in the sport. Let's see how Reyes attacks 3-1 to Martini. Here it is. And it's a swing and a sharp line drive deep center. Cedrola runs to his right and dives. Oh, you're kidding! What a catch, Lorenzo Cedrola! Lopez tags at third and scores. Benson up to third, but Lorenzo Cedrola just made an amazing play. That line drive looked like, for all the world, it was destined for left center and extra bases. But Lorenzo Cedrola just pulled a Clark Kent. A full extension, Superman dive to his right, an incredible catch for the first out of the third. It goes down in the book as a sac fly RBI, but Lorenzo Cedrola just played the role of hero. Here's De La Cruz. First pitch, he takes high and outside, ball one. Lorenzo Cedrola just robbed his former team. He was a Louisville bat last year, and that was a sensational catch in center. Work's not done here. 1-0. Swing and a high fly ball, shallow left field. Mendick ambles into his right and makes the catch. Tagging at third, Benson. He sprints home and scores. So that sacrifice fly, not quite as sexy as the sacrifice fly from Nick Martini, but it is an RBI for Ellie De La Cruz. And Louisville scores 2 more times and ups the lead to 4-0 here in the third. Single, single, double, sac fly, bags clean, 2 outs, and Encarnacion Strand back to the plate. Right-handed hitter at the plate. First pitch, swinging a fly ball. It's hit well to left. Mendick running to his right, diving in the corner. It lands past him fair and hops off the wall. Encarnacion Strand into second. That ball actually caromed over the wall and out of play. So technically this is a ground rule double for Encarnacion Strand. It's not quite an Encarnacion slam, as Red fans like to say, but Encarnacion Strand is working on a heck of a day now. Homer in the second, double in the third, and this inning continues. Still one more guy to get for Denji Reyes. Matt Reynolds to the plate, who struck out in the second. Pitch to him. He takes high for ball one. Matt Reynolds last night coming back to a ballpark where he's played a lot of baseball. He was great. 4 for 6, 2 singles, a double, and a dinger. 1-0. Swinging and a miss. Last night, Reynolds drove in 4 and scored 3 times. Just for fun, he also stole a base. Reynolds has been a Syracuse Chief and a Syracuse Met. Now he's a Louisville bat. 1-1. Swinging a line drive, deep left. Mendick started in, now he's running back and making the catch a couple of steps shy of the warning track. Another good swing for Reynolds, but that ends the third. Good inning for Louisville. They score 3 times and make it a 4-0 game as we go bottom 3 on Valley Live, and the score 12-60. Mets have got work to do. Louisville just scored 3 times in the top of the third inning. They have made it a 4-0 lead, and their best pitching prospect, the Reds' best pitching prospect, Andrew Abbott, is back to work. Lorenzo Cedrola at the plate. The Mets will have 7-8-9 due here, bottom 3. Pitch from Abbott, and it's outside for ball 1. Andrew Abbott threw a very good second inning for Louisville. 3 swinging strikeouts on 15 total pitches. 1-0. And it's a strike on the inside corner. Again, that's a 91-mile-per-hour pitch from Abbott. His fastball is not as overpowering as former Louisville bats. Hunter Green comes to mind. 1-1. Swinging a soft ground ball to third. Lopez fields backhanded and throws to first in time. You got to speed up the operation when Cedrola's coming out of the right-handed batter's box. He's maybe the fastest Syracuse Met, but Alejo Lopez just made a hard play look darn easy. The third baseman ran in, fielded the ball on the run with a backhand and threw to first in one motion. That is a great play for the first out of the third. So Abbott gets another out, and now Carlos Cortez, your batter. First pitch, breaking ball strike. A sweeping breaking ball on the inside corner. 7 up, 7 down for Abbott, who was making quick work of the Mets today. 0-1. Swing and a miss. Same pitch. Sweeper for strike 2. Cortez was awesome last night. 2 doubles, a dinger. And he had a hard line out to right field, which easily could have been another extra base hit. But this is a challenging task. Lefty on left against Andrew Abbott, who is just dealing right now. Lefty ready to go again. He winds up the 0-2. Low. Through the sweeper again. This time Cortez laid off. 4-0 Louisville. Bottom 3. There's nobody on and 1 out. Happy Education Day to all who celebrate. 1-2. Swinging a liner foul. Hard to find an empty seat in this place. Sellout crowd. 11 a.m. ball game on a Wednesday. If we all got to get here early and start the game early, we appreciate a packed house, and we appreciate all the kids waking us up. 1-2. High ball 2. Cortez battling back. Abbott just threw a fastball for the first time in the at-bat. Wind up 2-2. Swing and a miss. Back to the fastball. Threw it on the inner half, and Cortez goes down. 4 strikeout for Abbott and 8 batters faced. Nine-hitter coming up. It's Nick Meyer. Mets are still trying to get a base runner here. Down 4-0. Lefty Abbott against Meyer. The wind and the pitch. Swinging a ground ball to short. De La Cruz fields, plants, lobs to first. And Andrew Abbott has faced 9 batters today and retired them all in a row. To the 4th, 4-0 Louisville. On Valley Live and the score 12-60. 3 runs in the 3rd. Louisville had 4 hits plus a couple of sac flies to up their lead to 4-0. Fresh off scoring 17 runs yesterday. The Bats have scored 4 more times already today. TJ Hopkins at the plate. First pitch, swing and a fly ball out of play. It's not sunny skies here in Syracuse today. There is the chance of rain at some point. I think we're going to get through this ball game without the rain coming. Our cloudy skies here. 0-1, line drive out of play. Couple of days of the temperatures returning to more spring-like temps. And then next week, did you see what the weather's going to be like in central and western New York? It's going to be in the 80s. I'm going to get a tan. 0-2, outside and low. Mets will be on the road at Rochester next week. Back home the following week to take on Lehigh Valley. And then the Mets are back on the road again for 2 weeks. 1-2, swinging a fly ball to center. Sajola froze, now he's going back and making the catch. First out of the 4th. Of course, the Mets were gone the last 2 weeks. 1 week in Buffalo, 1 week in Norfolk. Home against Louisville, on the road Rochester, home against Lehigh Valley, and then, back on the road for 2 weeks. Back to Buffalo, and then to Durham. The wind of the pitch to Michael Ciani. Outside ball 1. 1 out, nobody on. Top 4, 4-0 Louisville. Denji Reyes winds up. Here comes the 1-0. Swing and a pop-up. Right beyond the mound, Reyes lost the ball, and the first baseman Stewart's got to run in and make the catch. That was a little strange. That pop-up was like 3 steps to the left of the pitcher's mound. But Denji Reyes lost the ball, and the first baseman, DJ Stewart, ran into his right, made the catch. And he got his cardio in for the day. A few extra steps that would never hurt anybody. 2 outs, nobody on. Johnny Pareda, your batter. The windup and the pitch. It's a breaking ball strike on the inside corner. Pareda started the scoring fun for Louisville in the 3rd. A single, and he later came around to score. 0-1. Breaking ball, strike again, this time in the outside corner. Denji bouncing back after a rough 3rd. 2 quick outs here in the 4th, and he's ahead 0-2 on Pareda. The wind and the pitch. High for ball 1. To say today's game has taken a totally different tone from yesterday would be an understatement. Yesterday's game was 17-12, and it took 3 hours and 35 minutes. 1-2. Swinging a line drive on the play. This ball game is 4-0 Louisville. We are in the 4th inning. We're 50 minutes in. Right-handed pitcher against right-handed batter. Pareda against Reyes. Denji staring down the batter. Shakes off one sign, and now Pareda calls time. Windy day here in Syracuse. It is rustling all our papers up here in the booth. 1-2, swinging a fly ball on a play. The good news about working inside a broadcast booth is that there are many different options for a paperweight. I've got highlighters, I've got pencils, I've got extra headsets, I've even got a large orange foam cowboy hat. Because why not? 1-2, line drive into left field, that's a base hit. Mendick cuts it off as it rolls into the corner, gets it back into the infield, and Pareda's got to settle for a single. That ball hung in the air, and it looked like Jonathan Aro, who's at third base, may be able to make a desperate leaping catch, but it just eluded his glove, and Mendick did a nice job getting that ball back in. Oh boy. After that last pitch, Denji Reyes, the pitcher, something happened that wasn't good. Training staff led by Vanessa Weisbach and the manager Dick Scout are out here to talk to Denji. Denji on that mound, kind of pawing at the ground with his right foot. Right away they ran out. When everyone runs out right away like that, you get a little spooked. And very quickly, the Mets bullpen gets someone running back and forth beyond that left field fence. Denji talks with Vanessa, who does her darndest as that wind rustles to keep the hair from flying in all different directions. I'm kind of shocked that all the guys in the field are able to keep the caps on as the wind rustles. It is not a non-stiff wind. It's blowing today. Those flags in right center field are rustling. The wind is blowing in, not out. We have seen some windy days here at the ballpark where the wind blows out and just carries baseballs. Today the wind is blowing in and it's actually hurt baseballs. Everybody leaves the mound. Denji's still out there, so that's good news. Pareda off first, 2 gone. Lopez back to the plate. Alejo's 1 for 1 today. Singled in the 3rd. Pitch to him. He swings and grounds into right field. That's a base hit. Pareda up to second. And here we go again. In the 3rd inning, Pareda singled, Lopez singled, then Benson doubled. And back-to-back sac fly scored a couple of runs. Here with 2 outs, Pareda has singled, and Lopez has singled, and now we see Benson again. Will digs into that left-handed batter's box. Open stance from the left side as the wind continues to pick up. This is as windy as it's been all day. First pitch. Fastball low for ball 1. I have officially had to take the spare headset inside this Visit Syracuse broadcast booth and put it down on my scorebook. Otherwise, my scorebook would fly out of the booth. 1-0. Outside 2-0. Michael, how you doing over there with all your stuff?
Blown away, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Jeez.
It's like a Carrie Underwood song. Try not to be blown away up here in the broadcast booth.
See, the cover on the tarp has been halfway blown off.
I just saw that. Thank you for letting me know. 2-0, swinging a grounder foul.
A little bit of a front that's set to come through. Hopefully the tail end of it does not end up hitting us until later today.
That would be nice. Not really in the mood for a rain delay.
No.
I never am, but today especially, you know. Had to wake up early, not enough coffee, a little cranky. 2-1 pitch inside for ball 3.
Great thing is we have recess coffee, iced coffee, which I know is your go-to. There's an iced coffee cart.
Wow.
Maybe you'll have to take a little field trip of your own.
Well, I mean, am I going to get it? Because there's a lot of people here today.
Do you think the kids are all drinking iced coffee?
3-1, line drive, base hit down the right field line, and Benson did it again. Pareda scores, Lopez stopped at 3rd, and this 4th inning is a carbon copy of the 3rd inning. Pareda single, Lopez single, Will Benson double. Guess what just happened in the 4th? It's 5-0 Louisville. Will Benson have a day.
And, well, Dick Scott coming out again from the third base dugout along with Vanessa Weisbach. This might be it for Denji one way or another. He's already up to 76 pitches, and yeah, I mean, Dick Scott's already calling to the bullpen, so I think that's going to be it for Reyes. Don't want to push it anymore. He might have gone to the bullpen regardless of any injury issues. So this is unfortunate to see because, you know, Denji Reyes, while the numbers for the season might not have looked, you know, the most awesome, we've seen him at his apex, and he's been really, really good. So Bubby Rossman coming out of the bullpen for Syracuse, and we'll see what the Mets can bring here with the wind continuing to blow.
Yeah, we'll be back in 90 seconds, and hopefully we're still back and won't blow away. I mean, this is like Winnie the Pooh on a blustery day. Ridiculous. We are back to NBT Bank Stadium. Unfortunately, not the 100-acre wood. In a moment on the Score 1260. All right, we are back at NBT Bank Stadium. We got a pitching change. Bubby Rossman in, Denji Reyes out. Will Benson at second. He just doubled in Pareda. Lopez at third. 2 outs, top 4. And Louisville continues to add on to their lead. It is now 5-0 in the fourth. And also, we are dealing with serious cosmetic issues behind the scene here in the Visit Syracuse broadcast booth. So we told you it's a windy day. It's got to be gusting at 15, 20 miles per hour at this point. In our broadcast booth, you probably have a similar situation in your office. The, what do you call them? The foam roof? What do you call it?
Ceiling tiles.
Sure. Those. Ceiling tiles, foam roof, same deal. It is so windy that the ceiling tiles are being pushed up, and here in the booth, I have had to nearly close the window in front of me so the ceiling tiles don't either blow away or fall on us. It's windy.
It's very windy. I mean, that wind is blowing straight in from center field, the American flag and a New York State flag blowing straight in, I mean, directly in our face. Which, if it was like 75 or 80, would feel really, really good.
Yeah.
But the temperature's starting to dip with the cold front set to come through, and, well, it's not great.
Yeah, it's 66 degrees. Next week's going to be amazing. High 80s, I saw. Going to be putting on some sunscreen in the broadcast booth in Rochester next week. But
it's going to be an ice cream kind of day.
Oh,
Sweet spot, Stan.
It's going to be an ice cream type of day every day in Rochester next week. I can tell you that much, young Michael. But as for today, yeah, no ice cream. Although there's a lot of kids in shorts and a T-shirt, because I think all kids would always wear a short and a T-shirt unless it was 20 degrees and their mom forced them to not wear shorts and a T-shirt. Nick Martini at the plate. First pitch from Rossman, almost hit him. High and in for ball 1.
I had a friend, my best friend actually, who prided himself for whatever reason on wearing shorts and a T-shirt in the winter most of the time. I'm like, what are you doing?
Just sounds like a recipe for hypothermia.
Yeah.
1-0 is inside for ball 2.
Big surprise, he's gotten frostbite before. Come on, man.
Today we have learned that Michael sometimes associates with foolish people.
Yeah.
I mean,
he sometimes
associates with me.
I was going to say.
2-0 pitch is a strike.
I spent full seasons with you. And you with I, you know what I mean? It's,
sure. Yeah.
You got to be a little crazy at times.
You got to be a little crazy to do this job, I can tell you that much. A lot of baseball games. Here's Rossman's 2-1, and it's low for ball 3. He is 1 ball away from having Ellie De La Cruz bat with the bases loaded, which sounds like a horror movie. 5-0 Louisville, top of the fourth. They got Benson at second and Lopez at third with 2 outs. Rossman coming set. The 3-1 to Martini. Swinging a fly ball on a play. Sac fly RBI for Nick Martini in the third. Also a fly out to left field in the first inning. 3-2. Rossman staring him down. Martini's a left-handed hitter. Rossman's a right-handed reliever. 3-2. Swing and a fly ball hit to right center field, but Cedrola runs in, makes the catch to his left, and ends the inning. So, could have been worse, but Louisville gets a second different RBI double of the day from Will Benson and makes it a 5-0 game as we go bottom 4 on MILB.TV, Bally Live, and of course, the Score 1260. 5-0 Louisville. They just scored again in the top half of this fourth inning. As we go to the bottom of the fourth inning, the Mets have got work to do. Danny Mendick leads off against Andrew Abbott. First pitch, outside, ball one. Hey, if you're looking for good news, the Mets were down 9-0 yesterday and rallied back to take the lead at one point. So it feels like this team's never out of the game. The 1-0 to Mendick. Swing and a fly ball. It's hit to shallow right center field. Ciani ran to his left, but gave way to the right fielder Benson, who made the catch to his right. And now one gone in the fourth. Stiff wind is blowing everything in today at NBT Bank Stadium, so if you're going to get a home run today, you really got to get a hold of one. Louisville got a home run from Christian Encarnacion Strand earlier. That ball was pelted over the left field wall. Here's Ronnie Mauricio, first pitch, inside, ball one. Andrew Abbott, 10 up and 10 gone against the Mets. He's been efficient, 41 pitches so far. The wind and the pitch to Mauricio. Swing and a pop-up. Foul ground, first base side. Encarnacion Strand over, makes the catch. And now 11 up and 11 gone for the best minor league pitching prospect in the Cincinnati Reds system. Andrew Abbott has looked great. One more guy to get in this inning for Abbott, and it's an enticing, fortuitous matchup. Left-handed pitcher will face left-handed batter DJ Stewart. The wind and the pitch to DJ. Swing and a miss. Strike one. Chase the sweeping breaking ball. 5-0 Louisville. Nobody on. 2 out, bottom 4. The pitch to Stewart. Swing and a fly ball. It's hit well to right. Benson going back on the track. Looking up. Goodbye. DJ Stewart cuts through the stiff wind and gets the Mets on the board. The first hit of the day for the Mets is a solo shot. Stewart goes kaboom, and the Mets are a little closer. 5-1 game in the fourth.
Is 5 runs going to be enough to win this game? I don't think so. I really don't. These are two really good offenses. Look, Abbott's a really good pitcher, but you figure as efficient as he's been, he can't pitch the entire game.
Pitch to Jalen Davis. There's a strike outside corner.
And the Syracuse offense is too good to be held down for the entire contest. Keep in mind, this is the second time through the order now for Syracuse.
Pitch. There's another strike outside corner again, 0-2. So Stewart gets the Mets on the board. Still got a shot to make more noise here. Bottom 4. Andrew Abbott throws. And the 0-2 is taken just a bit outside for ball 1.
Keep in mind, too, that was Syracuse's first base runner of the game. See if it is a prelude to more good things to come for Syracuse.
1-2 to Davis. Swing and a fly ball, shallow right. Benson started back. Now he's coming in and making the catch. So there's your end of the bottom of the fourth inning, but Stewart hits a home run. The Mets have got a hit, they've got a run, and they're only down 5-1 now as we're on to the fifth on Education Day on Bally Live in the Score 1260. 5-1 game as we go to the fifth. Bubby Rossman back to work, Michael, and it's quite the challenge here to start the game.
Yeah, Ellie De La Cruz is at the plate, one of the top prospects in all of baseball. Switch hitter batting from the left-hand side. De La Cruz has flied out twice, once to center, and then the other was a sacrifice fly in the third. First pitch is outside for ball 1. You know, the other thing about Ellie De La Cruz, talked about him being a switch hitter, his defensive acumen, the strong arm. He stands 6'5", 200 pounds. Here's the 1-0. High for ball 2. It's funny because Ronnie Mauricio for Syracuse is listed at 6'3" and online 166 pounds. I talked to Ronnie earlier today. Here's the 2-0. De La Cruz takes on the inside corner, strike 1. I said, Ronnie, you know, I got an email from someone at Major League Baseball saying, okay, is Ronnie Mauricio really 166? With like a smiley face? Here's the 2-1. This is down low for ball 3. So I asked Ronnie, what's your height and weight? He looked at me and he said, 6'3", 220. 166 is a little off. That's probably what he was coming up in rookie ball, to be honest. Here's the 3-1. De La Cruz takes low and in for ball 4. What happens is, these guys get asked, or they get their height and weight measured when they first get signed by a team. I mean, keep in mind, Ronnie Mauricio signed as a 16-year-old with the New York Mets, and that's what's put in. And it doesn't change unless someone sends an email in and gets it changed, or it takes the time to change it. And 166 has just been what's put in there. Ronnie goes, yeah, I'm 220. All right, let's get that changed, make it more accurate. First pitch to Christian Encarnacion Strand misses low for a ball after Ellie De La Cruz worked the walk. De La Cruz at first. Ronnie Mauricio is playing second for Syracuse today. 1-0 on Encarnacion Strand, who is homered and doubled. Runner takes off, pitches a strike throw down to second base. Is a bit offline, not in time. Encarnacion Strand had an intriguing slide over to second base. He lost the helmet. He came off of the base, but the throw was too far to the right. Didn't allow Mauricio to apply a tag. So a runner in scoring position. It's the 8th stolen base this season for Ellie De La Cruz. He's in scoring position with a 1-1 count on Encarnacion Strand, and the pitch is swung on and missed for strike 2. 95-mile-an-hour fastball from Bubby Rossman. Mets trail 5-1. We're in the top of the 5th on an education day and a windy Wednesday morning turned afternoon at the ballpark. Here's the 1-2. Swinging a fly ball foul. First base side out of play. Yesterday, Christian Encarnacion Strand went 1 for 6 with just a single. Did have a couple of flyouts to right. Stands with a slightly open stance on the right-hand side. Bubby Rossman works from the stretch. Here's the right-hander's pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Got him at 95 miles an hour. First strikeout for Rossman. It's only the second time that Louisville has struck out today, but now there's one away with Matt Reynolds coming to the plate. Reynolds comes to the walk-up song, We Are Never Getting Back Together.
Best Taylor Swift song ever recorded.
It's a lukewarm take. Runner at second here with 1 out. Here's the pitch. This is high for ball 1.
It's a hot take. I'm sure a lot of Taylor Swift fans do not agree with me, but I'm one of you, and it's my favorite song, so leave me alone.
Is there like a name for Taylor Swift fans?
Swifties.
Swifties. Makes sense. Of course. 1-0 on Reynolds. Here's the pitch. Swinging a fly ball down the right field line, but hooking foul out of play. The song's appropriate, sort of. The Syracuse Mets used to have Reynolds on the team last year. He also played with the Syracuse Ball Club in 2018. But why would they never get back together? Reynolds is a pretty good player.
Well, maybe Matt Reynolds is going to go talk to his friends, and his friends are going to talk to me. Talk to me. We.
Ellie De La Cruz dancing off of second. Here's the 1-1. Reynolds takes high for ball 2.
It's very fitting that the Mets are playing the Louisville Bats, of course, because they're the Cincinnati Reds AAA team. And, Taylor Swift has an album called Red.
That's also true.
It all comes together, Michael. It all comes together.
2-1 on Reynolds. 1 out here in the top of the 5th. Pitch is down low. Good block by Meyer behind the plate. The count is 2-1. Education Day at the ballpark. Sold out crowd at the stadium. 10,815. And we've seen an awesome atmosphere so far today. Soon enough, the stadium will start to file out. The kids having to get back to school and catch the buses home. 3-1 on Reynolds' pitch. Over the plate for strike 2. Off speed from Rossman. Shifts the count to 3-2. 5 runs on 9 hits already for Louisville. The Bats yesterday scored their first 9 runs on only 8 hits. Aided by multiple walks that Louisville took advantage of. 5-1 Bats lead here in the top of the 5th. Syracuse back home after a 2-week road trip in Buffalo, then Norfolk. 12 games in 13 days. Mets down here 5-1. De La Cruz at second takes a lead there. The 3-2 to Reynolds is outside for ball 4. And that's been an issue for Syracuse all season long. When you take a look at the Syracuse Mets pitching staff, you have a team that gets 2 strikes on hitters at actually a very high clip, but is in the top 5 in hits allowed, in that Syracuse allows in the top 5 in most hits allowed, and is in the bottom 5 in strikeouts when they get 2 strikes on opposing batters. Runners take off. Pitch misses, low throw down to third, not in time. So De La Cruz takes third, and Reynolds takes second on the double steal. So now there's 2 runners in scoring position for TJ Hopkins. Mets trail 5-1. Syracuse is bringing the infield in. Here's the 1-0. Hopkins takes on the inside corner for a strike. One ball and 1 strike on Hopkins with runners at second and third. TJ 0 for 2 today. Pitch hit softly in front of home. Rossman barehand. The throw home's not in time, and the throw first isn't either. It wasn't a force play at home. Rossman flipped to Meyer, but it wasn't a great one. And De La Cruz with a good read to take home on the play. It is an RBI for TJ Hopkins, and it's a 6-1 Louisville lead.
I don't think he was trying to bunt, by the way.
No, it was a check swing.
Yeah, that right there is why Ellie De La Cruz is the most enticing prospect in baseball. That is a check swing, swing that looked like a safety squeeze, and he still scored. I'm still not quite sure how. Ellie De La Cruz just does a couple of things a game where you go, what in the world was that? Humans are allowed to do that?
Yeah. Well, runners on the corners now in a 5-run ball game. Michael Ciani's at the plate, and the pitch is low for a ball. Ciani has doubled and popped out today. 1 ball and no strikes on Ciani, and the pitch is outside ball 2. 6 runs, 10 hits for the Louisville Bats so far today. Here's the pitch from Rossman, and it's over the plate for a strike. Michael Ciani, 23 years old, a left-handed hitter. Grips two-tone, tan barrel, black handle bat. Standing with an open stance. 2-1, wave and a miss for strike 2. Good off-speed pitch at 85 from Bubby Rossman. Ciani this season has 18 RBIs. Has 10 extra base hits despite hitting 196. 2-2, swinging a grounder foul. First base side out of play. 42 games for Ciani. Is the center fielder today. Covers a lot of ground out there in center. Slight pause as DJ Stewart retrieved the ball that was hit down the line, tossed it into the seats. I'll tell you, the most popular kid in class has to be the one that gets the foul balls today, huh?
No, it's definitely the kid who gets the popcorn and shares it with people.
Well, yeah. Here's the 2-2, outside ball 3. I think everybody that comes, if they get the lunch here, don't they get a popcorn? Maybe not. Suppose it depends.
Probably chips, not popcorn.
Yeah.
Chips is probably just easier to pass out.
This is true. So you've thought of these things. You've thought ahead, huh?
A lot of downtime in the baseball season.
Here's the 3-2, low and in for ball 4. So Ciani walks, and the bases are loaded for Johnny Pareda.
Michael, what was your go-to lunch?
Peanut butter and jelly. I brought lunch from home so many times.
It's just an economical way to live life.
I mean, I have my mom to thank for that. Peanut butter and jelly, some chips, and something for dessert, some Oreos maybe, some chocolate chip cookies.
What kind of Oreos?
Just the regular. Regular.
Michael.
Here's the first pitch to Johnny Pareto. Looper in the air. Shallow right field. Long run for Jalen Davis. He makes the catch. And, well, with his strong arm, no test of a tag from anybody on the base path. So, fly out to right field, and there's 2 away in the inning.
Did your family have something against double stuff Oreos?
No. I mean, occasionally double stuffed. Occasionally the chocolate filling.
You know they make mega stuff Oreos now?
Really? How?
Just like they make regular Cheez-Its, big Cheez-Its, and extra big Cheez-Its. What a country.
Well, got to have options, right?
Yeah. And in America, let's just make it as big as possible.
Here's the first pitch to Alejo Lopez. Swing and a miss for strike 1.
The lunch I brought to school every day is basically the same thing I still eat every day. Sandwich, some sort of chip, cut up apple, protein bar.
Huh.
Same thing every single day in high school.
Here's the 0-1 to Lopez. Over the plate, strike 2. The most popular day for buying lunch was always the Domino's Pizza Day in elementary school. I think that's the first lunch I ever bought. There would be days I would be the only one that brought a lunch to school. I didn't mind it. But it would just be everyone else would be getting Domino's Pizza on a Thursday. 0-2, misses low for a ball.
We had the same deal, except I lived in Michigan, so we got Little Caesars.
Of course.
Continue.
I remember the first time I wanted to buy. We would have the school accounts where the parents could put money in, and you had a little passcode you could use. 1-2 to Lopez, line foul. But I wanted to bring cash one day and get change. Like I was like, oh, I'll give some cash and then I'll get change. I just thought it was really cool. And I brought 4 quarters, and the item I got was 50 cents. And I tried to give the cashier 4 quarters just to get change back. And she was like, no, I only need 2. I'm like, no, but I want change. Pitch here is grounded back to the mound. Snared by Rossman. He thought about coming home. He throws to first, and it wasn't a good throw, but DJ Stewart ended up coming off the bag and touching it, and Lopez maybe wasn't hustling necessarily down the line. Mets get out of it as Louisville strands the bases loaded in a 6-1 game. Education Day at the ballpark. We continue for the bottom of the 5th. Next on Bally Live with the score 12-60. 6-1, Louisville leads over Syracuse. Luis Guillorme leads off for the Mets. Andrew Abbott back to the mound for Louisville, where he's been strong so far through 4 innings and maybe more impressively efficient. 48 pitches thrown. First pitch to Guillorme, misses low for a ball. Education Day at the ballpark. Syracuse has managed only 1 hit. It was a DJ Stewart 2-out solo homer in the 4th. Here's the 1-0. Swing a foul straight back, and the count's now 1-1. Most of the kids still around already. Some, I think, are heading for the concourse to get some lunch. Maybe others heading to the buses to get home for the end of the day. Here's the 1-1 to Guillorme. Pumped in the air foul. Third base side out of play. Counts now 1-2. I think the biggest mistake I made today, which is amazing because normally I'm always in long sleeves, was not bringing a long sleeve shirt. Pitch here, waved on and missed strike 3. So Guillorme strikes out, and there's 1 away in the 5th.
You know they sell long sleeves in the team store, right?
I could go down there, Syracuse Mets team store, where it's always fun to shop.
Yes.
You know.
So I got this orange cowboy hat yesterday, which I didn't buy. I borrowed it. I have to give it back to him at some point.
You didn't buy it? How much is it?
I don't know. Too
Oh,
much.
my goodness. Here's the first pitch to Jonathan Arauz over the plate for strike 1. Anything for the content, I suppose, right?
Hey, when I put it on yesterday, the Mets scored 9 times. So
Well, mate, I think you need to put it on today.
All right, hang on.
Here's the 0-1. Arauz swings and misses for strike 2. Jonathan responsible for 5 of those runs. Well, 5 of the 11. He actually hit the go-ahead 3-run home run. Also had a 2-run home run yesterday. 0-2 outside for ball 1.
I dare you to find a baseball broadcaster at 12:30 on a Wednesday currently wearing an oversized orange foam cowboy hat.
That hat will forever remind me, 1-2, called strike 3 on the inside corner, of the cowboy hat that Jim Boeheim had on while he's holding the 2003 National Championship trophy. That hat was a little more official than this foam hat, but that's what this orange hat reminds me of. Find a picture. We'll do a side-by-side of you in that hat and Jim Boeheim in the hat. Who wore it better?
Or, something else, Michael.
Here's the first pitch to Lorenzo Cedrola. Pop foul back into the right.
This orange foam hat looks a bit like the SNL sketch, Burt Reynolds, Turd Ferguson. You remember that sketch?
Yes.
It's what Norm Macdonald wore.
0-1. Swinging a pop-up, first base side. Encarnacion Strand, the first baseman's underneath. He makes the catch. Andrew Abbott has allowed 1 hit and 1 run through 5 innings at NBT Bank Stadium. 6-1 Louisville as we go to the 6th next on Bally Live on the score 12-60. Back at NBT Bank Stadium, the Syracuse Mets trail 6-1 against the Louisville Bats. Kids are screaming because it's the t-shirt toss at the ballpark. And the Mets have a new pitcher. Eric Orzi is into the game, and back for the play-by-play as we turn to the 6th is Evan Stock.
Well, Michael, what Louisville's doing today at the plate, again, very good. They've got this lead here, 6-1 as we start the top of the 6th. Orzi dealing with Will Benson, who's doubled twice. First pitch, he lines out of play. Today, Louisville's doing it in little drips. 1 in the 2nd, 3 in the 3rd, 1 in the 4th, 1 in the 5th. Yesterday they scored big early, and they scored big often. They won 17-12 yesterday. 0-1. Outside corner, strike 2. Yesterday Louisville scored 3 times in the 1st, 6 times in the 2nd, 1 in the 4th, 1 in the 5th, 2 in the 6th, 2 in the 8th, 2 in the 9th. They just scored a lot yesterday. 0-2. Outside 1-2. Benson, Martini, De La Cruz, the 3 due for the Mets. For the Bats, I should say, as they try to extend their lead on the Mets, up 6-1, top 6. 1-2, swing and a miss. Sinking breaking ball from Orzi. He gets Benson. Will strikes out for the first time today. And there's a good start, Michael, for Eric Orzi, who is in sore need of a really good relief outing today.
Yeah, I mean, he's a guy that, when we talk about, Syracuse pitchers have had trouble putting away batters when they get 2 strikes on him. Orzi's one of those guys that has an excellent put-away pitch with that split finger.
First one to Martini, outside for ball 1.
And that is something that certainly makes Eric Orzi effective on the mound.
20 strikeouts now and 18 2/3 this year for Eric. 1-0. Outside, ball 2. Threw the sinking breaking ball and missed. No hits yet today for Nick Martini, but had an RBI sac fly in the 3rd inning. 2-0. Check swing, doesn't matter. Pitch called a strike in the outside corner. Fastball at 93 from Eric Orzi. Kids starting to file out of the ballpark. They got to get back to school here in a little bit. 2-1. Swinging a ground ball foul, right field side. Game started at 11:05. It's now 12:40 just about. You factor in the 30-40 minute bus ride back to school after the 10-15 minutes corralling everybody, right? So you're trying to get back to school by 1:45-2 because you probably end around 2:45-3. 2-2 pitch outside. So some folks starting to leave, some classes sticking around. Have to imagine the elementary school kids are leaving, maybe the middle school and high school kids are staying. 1 out, nobody on, top 6. 3-2, swinging a pop-up out of play.
How'd school times work in Michigan when you went?
So I remember we did take a middle school field trip to a Tiger game. 1 o'clock game that day. I remember Gary Sheffield had just joined the Tigers, and I love Gary Sheffield because of that goofy batting stance. 3-2. Outside ball 4. Martini walks. The entire infield thought it was strike 3, but Martini draws ball 4, and he's a 1-out base runner. I remember we sat in the upper deck, and we had to leave in the 7th inning, because I think it was 3 o'clock. And I was so upset because it was a close game, and I'm Mr. Baseball fan over here. I've been ready for months to go to this game. And we had to leave?
Oh, man.
And this was before smartphones. Yeah, I'm old enough to remember no smartphones. I'm no kid. Oh, it was horrible. Couldn't follow the game. It was terrible. First pitch to Ellie De La Cruz, swinging a sharp line drive left center field. This ball down for another base hit. Around second, Martini. Around first, De La Cruz. Head first, sliding into second. Ellie De La Cruz is a joy to watch, even when he's playing against your team. Double puts runners on second and third with 1 out in the 6th. So far today, Ellie De La Cruz has walked, stolen 2 bases, doubled, and driven in a run. Get ready, Cincinnati. A future superstar is coming your way at some point. And now Eric Orsi, after that strikeout to start the inning, has got to work here. First pitch to Encarnacion Strand, low for ball 1. It's second and third, 1 out, top of the 6th. Louisville up 6-1. And the Mets have the infield in as they try to stay within shouting distance. A right-handed hitter Encarnacion Strand against right-handed pitcher Eric Orsi. 1 out. Inside 2-0. Cloudy day, Wednesday afternoon in the Salt City. Crowd filing out on Education Day, so we're not as packed as we once were. 2-0. Strike called on the outside corner. Breaking ball at 83. 6 runs on 11 hits for the Bats. 1 run on a solo home run from DJ Stewart for the Mets. 2-1, swing and a miss. That breaking ball. Sharp sinking action from Orsi. When it works, it works. This year it just hasn't worked enough. The ERA for Eric entering this afternoon, 8.35. Bats trying to add on. 6-1 Louisville lead, top of the 6th. They got second and third, 1 out. Orsi from the stretch. A long hold. Still holding. And the 2-2. Outside ball 3. He came set and held for 9 seconds.
It's the game he could play now with this whole pitch clock situation. Both hitters and pitchers trying to get as much of an advantage on it as they can.
Here he goes again. The pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Snapped it off. Snaking breaking ball. Down goes Encarnacion Strand. The sinking breaking ball gets him. Second strikeout of the inning for Orsi, 2 gone in the 6th. One more guy to get, it's Matt Reynolds, who after the 4-for-6 ball game yesterday, a lot quieter today, strikeout, line out, walk, and a stolen bag. Pitch to him. He swings and lines on a play. Strike 1. Runner at third, Martini. He walked to start the inning, and then got up to third on Ellie De La Cruz's double. Base hit to the outfield, and with De La Cruz's speed, Louisville's probably scoring 2 runs. 0-1. Check swing, foul, back to the screen, and Reynolds down to the count. All right, Michael, Orsi ahead on a batter, 2 strikes. What do you think? Sinking breaking ball?
And that's the put-away pitch, right? Use the split finger or go upstairs with a fastball. I mean, he's picked up 2 strikeouts so far in this inning.
Can he pick up another one? 0-2. Swinging a grounder foul through the sinking, splitting breaking ball. And Reynolds just got a piece. That's taking his time walking back to that right-handed batter's box. He may have nicked himself with that foul ball. When the Mets are back to the plate, bottom 6, needing a bunch of runs, they will send up 8-9-1. Cortez, Meyer, Mendick. Mauricio would bat 4th, and Stewart would bat 5th. DJ Stewart, the only Met with a hit today. Luckily, it was a solo home run. Runner on second, De La Cruz. Runner on third, Martini. 2 outs, top 6, 6-1, Louisville. Orsi trying to put away Reynolds. From the stretch, 0-2. Swinging a grounder foul. Spoiled another one. If you're colorblind, this is not the matchup for you. Syracuse wearing fluorescent highlighter orange jerseys. Louisville wearing red jerseys that look honestly exactly like the Cincinnati Reds jerseys. I've tried not to call them the Reds all day. Here's the 0-2. Inside for ball 1.
Oh, Mets and Reds has a little nice little ring to it.
Have the Mets and Reds ever played in the playoffs?
The New York Mets and the Cincinnati Reds?
Yeah. 1-2, high off the catcher's glove to the backstop. And Martini comes in and scores. De La Cruz the third on the wild pitch, and it's 7-1 Louisville. Oh, they ruled that a pass ball. Tough break for Meyer.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's one of those where I think everyone's so conditioned where you just assume so many things are wild pitches, but you talk to pitching coach. I mean, of course, the pitching coach wants to protect their pitcher, but you know they'll say they think a lot of things that are called wild pitches should really be passed balls, and I mean, Meyer will tell you that you should have made the play.
Next pitch, check swing. He went around, strike 3. Reynolds goes down. So Orsi gives up the run, but he strikes out the side. Louisville leads by 6 now, 7-1 as we go bottom 6 on Valley Live, and the score 12-16. It's been a two-pronged problem for the Syracuse Mets today. Louisville once again has been remarkably consistent at the plate. They've scored 7 times on 11 hits. And they're facing Andrew Abbott, widely considered the best pitching prospect in the Cincinnati Reds minor league system. And today, my goodness, he looks the part. 7-1 Louisville as we go bottom 6. First pitch to Carlos Cortez, low for ball 1. Andrew Abbott so far today, aside from a solo home run he gave up to Stewart, has been absolutely excellent. 1-0. Fastball, strike on the outside corner. Andrew Abbott, as we start the 6th, is working on his best start in AAA. 2-0. Sweeping breaking ball that's just off the outside corner. Andrew Abbott in this ball game, 5 innings, 1 run ball on 1 hit, has already racked up 6 strikeouts. Pitch to Cortez, high and in. Carlos Limbo's out of the way. 5 of those 6 strikeouts for Andrew Abbott have been swinging, as he utilizes what today has been a devastating mix of pitches. 3-1, swing and a miss. There's the fastball on the inside part of the plate. It's not an overpowering fastball for Andrew Abbott. Sits in the low 90s. But the way he hides the ball and the way that fastball can cut on you, it actually feels more like 96, 97. 3-2, and it's taken on the outside corner, a called third strike. Right back to that low 90s fastball that feels like it's sitting in the high 90s. Andrew Abbott is putting on a masterclass. That's another strikeout, 7 of them, and 1 gone in the 6th. And now the 9-hitter, Nick Meyer, comes to the plate. Right-handed hitter against the lefty. First pitch is a fastball high for ball 1. This reminds me of back in the day, you'd hear stories of big leaguers in the 50s, 60s, and 70s when they'd face a dynamite starting pitcher. Here's the 1-0. It's low for ball 2. When Bob Gibson was rolling, or Denny McClain was rolling, or Sandy Koufax was rolling, guys as a joke would come to the plate with a table leg. What does it matter what I bring up there? I'm not hitting it. 2-0. Line drive, base hit center field. A rare mistake for Andrew Abbott. Right down the pipe it came, and Meyer sends it back up the box for a sharp single. And ultimately, Michael, if you're a team like the Mets, that's what you got to do, right? You tip your cap to a pitcher at a certain point, but also you just got to put little seeds of doubt in his mind. As Danny Mendick comes up, third time through the order, let's see if the Mets can put a little doubt in Andrew Abbott's mind here. 1 on and 1 out. Mets down 7-1. First pitch, and Danny takes a strike in the inside corner. Mendick's 0 for 2, a ground out and a fly out. Right-handed hitter against the lefty Andrew Abbott. Pitch, and it's taken. Another strike on the outside corner, 0-2. A lot of fastballs in this inning from Abbott. Also throws a curve, a slider, and a change. That slider looks more like a sweeper. Andrew actually added that pitch last year. 0-2. Swing and a miss. Mendick chased a fastball near his head, and Andrew Abbott has 8 strikeouts. I tell you what, that fastball, 91-92, but they just can't touch it. Again, because of the cutting action and the way that Abbott hides the ball as a left-handed hurler. Good luck hitting it. Pitch to Ronnie Mauricio. Swing and a miss. Threw the changeup, and he missed it. Strike 1. Quiet day for Ronnie. Fly out to left in the first, pop out to first base in the 4th. Now he bats in the 6th. 0-1. Swinging a fly ball. Out of play. 0-2.
Keep in mind, too, Evan, this is a Syracuse team that does not strike out, nor does it walk a whole lot. Strikeouts more middle of the pack, walks more towards the bottom, but it's a team that generally puts the ball in play. And while the Mets have put it in play a little bit, not as much as they are used to. And you have to give Andrew Abbott so much credit for that.
0-2. Swinging a ground ball left side. Lopez fields at third and goes the short way to second. Inning over, and Andrew Abbott has gone through 6 innings of ball on 2 hits and allowed just 1 run. He's at 73 pitches, by the way. I think he's coming back out for the 7th. On to the top of the 7th. Louisville 7, Syracuse 1 on the score 12-16. Already, Florida and Vegas have put their series in a chokehold. If you had Panthers Golden Knights in your Stanley Cup final before the playoffs, congratulations, you're a psychic, because literally no one saw that coming. Eric Orsi to work in the 7th against TJ Hopkins. The first pitch, a swing and a little fly ball that falls in right center field for a base hit. A fisted jam job that falls in shallow right for a Texas League bloop base hit. Second hit of the day for TJ Hopkins, and on the first pitch of the 7th, Louisville has its 12th hit of the game. 7-1 Bats lead. They have scored in each of the last 5 innings. 1 in the 2nd, 3 in the 3rd, 1 in the 4th, 1 in the 5th, 1 in the 6th. And now Michael Ciani comes up to the plate as Louisville tries to score again. Double walk. Good day already for Ciani. Pitch from Orsi. Taken high. Ball 1. Michael Ciani comes from excellent athletic genes. Both him and his younger brother Sammy are playing minor league ball. Of course, Michael's in the red system. 1-0. Taken. Strike. Breaking ball. Inside corner. 1-1. Sammy Ciani is right now playing in the Pirates minor league system with High A Greensboro, the Grasshoppers. Sammy was picked 37th overall by the Pirates in the 19 draft out of William Penn High School. 1-1. Swing and a miss. Ciani was picked in the 4th round of the 18 draft by the Reds out of William Penn High. And if you don't think Sammy gives Michael grief about the fact that he was picked higher in the draft, you don't have brothers. Or you've never been around brothers, because they will find literally any excuse to make fun of each other. 1-2. Swing and a fly ball hit to right center field and hit well, but Cedrol is back to his left and making the catch in the gap on the run. Hopkins back to first, 1 gone. You've got 2 guys in this Visit Syracuse broadcast booth who are the oldest of 3 brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Now look, We love our brothers, they love us, and we give each other compliments. But I'd say the ratio of insult to compliment, as you get older, there's more compliments than insults. But growing up, insult 98%, compliment 2%. And honestly, I think I'm being generous there. Perrota at the plate, first pitch, and Johnny takes low, ball 1. I don't know, man, Michael, maybe that's just me. Did you and your brothers have a more loving relationship?
Oh, we have a loving relationship. It's but that doesn't mean it doesn't get competitive or contentious at times.
Sometimes.
Many times. It's certainly a competitive relationship. I'm the older brother. I can never lose to the younger brothers. Come on.
It's a sad day when you start losing.
Ha.
It's a sad day.
What's losing? Come on.
1-0. It's taken. Outside corner, strike 1.
No, I'm happy to have brothers that push me to be better in some respects. Middle brother, Division I cross-country runner. I used to beat him all the time running. And, it was a sad day when he became faster than I was.
Well, hey, you can say you pushed him to become a Division I runner.
I give him a lot of credit. He got into running because he was doing karate, and you had to run to get your black belt 2 miles in 16 minutes. And it started out as
next pitch, swing and a miss.
Sort of in increments. You had to start out 2 miles in under 20 minutes, and then, to work your way down. I mean, we could walk faster than he could run. He was running 2 miles in 25 minutes. And here's a guy who went Division I cross country. I give my brother Joseph a lot of credit.
1-2, slow ground ball to third. Aros fields, throws to first, only play. Hopkins up to second with 2 gone. I also have a brother who's a Division I athlete. My brother Vincent plays on the soccer team at Detroit Mercy. And my brother and I, my other brother Benjamin, don't give ourselves very much credit on this, but my mom loves to tell people that Vincent's a Division I athlete because me and Benjamin would kick the crap out of Vincent growing up, and we just never let him have anything, so he just learned to be tougher, I don't know. Vincent did it all on his own. I had nothing to do with it. First pitch to Lopez, taken inside corner, strike 1. Especially because I didn't really grow up playing soccer. I led the St. Pat's White Lake soccer team in goals in the 5th grade, and I was wise enough to quit while I was ahead. Runner on second, 2 outs in the inning. Next pitch to Lopez, and he takes another strike. Bats up 7-1 here in the 7th.
Got my youngest brother who would always play basketball against as well. I mean, the 3 of us would always play basketball, but realized how good he was when I was in college and he's in high school. I'm out of college and he's in high school, and I got to work to try and defend him. He was pretty good.
0-2 to Lopez, swing and a miss. And Eric Orsi's got another strikeout. That's 4 in 2 innings of work. Bottom of the 7th coming. Louisville 7, Syracuse 1 in Game 2 out of 6 this week at NBT Bank Stadium. On MILB.TV, Bally Live, and the score 12-60. 7-1 Louisville as we go bottom 7, and Andrew Abbott is back out. The best pitching prospect in the Cincinnati Reds minor league system is twirling a gem. Left-hander starts against DJ Stewart here, bottom 7. First pitch, swinging a liner on a play. DJ Stewart hit a solo home run off Abbott in the 4th. Myers singled off Andrew in the 6th. Other than that, nothing. Abbott winds up and throws 0-1, taken low. Andrew Abbott, 6 innings, 2 hits, 1 run allowed, and the kicker, he has 8 strikeouts. He is racking them up at a prodigious pace today. He winds up and throws home. Inside, fastball miss, 2-1. A lot of the kids have had to go back to school, so our sellout Education Day crowd is basically non-existent now. We will play these last couple of innings, kind of like the games that were played during COVID. We're not going to pipe in any crowd noise, but it's going to feel like that. Empty house. 2-1, high and in, ball 3. Is it just me, or did the school kids leave earlier this year as compared to last year?
No, I think it's about the same. You got to keep in mind high school, middle school gets out earlier than elementary school.
3-1, called strike, outside corner.
High school gets out at 2, I believe, most places. So does junior high, at least in Syracuse district. So you've got 9 through 12 generally getting out around 2.
3-2 inside, ball 4. The Mets have 3 base runners today against Andrew Abbott. And DJ Stewart has reached twice. He's now homered and walked today.
Plus it takes some time, like you were mentioning earlier, Evan, to get out to the bus, load the bus, count to make sure you got every kid. A lot of buses out there. What a job, by the way, by the Syracuse Mets staff here. I don't think it gets talked about enough how this operation, like, you know, all the kids come in, all the kids stay, and then all the kids leave, but the logistics that go into getting the tickets and the buses and where they park and loading the kids.
First pitch, swing and a miss, and Jalen Davis down in the count, 0-1.
And this is the first of 2. We'll have a second one coming up in June. What a week we have. Memorial Day weekend, 3 nights of fireworks, Dollar Thursday, tomorrow.
Pitch, taken low, ball 1.
Should be a fun day at the ballpark.
Stewart off first, nobody out. Bottom 7, 7-1 Louisville. 1-1, swing and a miss. 1-2. You know, Abbott's done a really nice job throughout this outing of going back and forth between the 4 pitches in his mix. Last inning, a lot of fastballs. This inning, a lot of slower stuff. 1-2. Taken high, back to the fastball. 93, fastest of the day from Abbott. Hey, 83 pitches. Your day's done after this inning. May as well empty the gas tank. 2-2. Outside, ball 3. A few stray raindrops. We are expecting rain later today. We were hoping that the rain would officially hold off until the game ended. I think the steadier rain's not going to come until after the game ends. 3-2. Taken low, ball 4. So Andrew Abbott throws 6 brilliant innings, and this 7th inning is off to a inauspicious beginning. Walk Stewart, walk Davis, and the Mets have 2 runners on base for the first time all day.
Well, Syracuse has scored 6 runs in an inning 3 times this season, including once yesterday. So you're down 6, but you have 9 outs to work with, and I don't know. Abbott's starting to get a little tired maybe. He's up to 85 pitches. Then you got to go to the bullpen, which at times has been great for Louisville and at times has been bad.
First pitch, and Guillorme takes a strike outside corner. This thing's not over, but Louisville does lead 7-1, bottom 7, as Abbott struggles for the first time today. 0-1, taken outside, 1-1. Stewart and Davis have both walked to start the inning. The Mets had 2 total base runners in the game before this inning. And now you start to think that maybe things are finally turning. 1-1. Inside, 2-1. Missed with the fastball. There are a few school kids left, and a couple of them right behind home have pulled out the iPad and phone to take bird's eye videos of Abbott throwing to Guillorme. 2-1. Inside, 3-1. This is a good challenge, Michael, for a prospect like Andrew Abbott. In the bigs, they want you to go 6 or 7 innings. So, how do you handle third time through the order and when you start to lose energy in your gas tank? Abbott is struggling in this inning. 3-1. That's down the middle, strike 2. He just walked Stewart, just walked Davis, and now he's 1 ball away from walking Guillorme. Louisville's up 7-1 in the 7th, but Syracuse is making him think. 3-2, swing and a miss. Abbott gets him. Guillorme late on the fastball, and as Guillorme walks back to the dugout, he stares at Andrew Abbott with a frustrated look on his face. Another strikeout for Abbott. That's 9 and 1 gone in the 7th. By the way, among the 9 strikeouts for Abbott, 7 have been swinging. It's been a masterclass, no doubt about that. Aro's up. He struck out twice. First pitch. And he takes inside corner, strike 1. You know, Yesterday, Arauz had 2 home runs and drove in 5. Today, he's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. That is this sport in a nutshell. One day, great. Next day, frustration. 0-1. Low ball 1. But that is why baseball, more than any other sport, I think in both of our opinions, mirrors everyday life. Hoops, hockey, you play every other day, every third day. Football, you play once a week. Baseball, it's every day for 5 or 6 months. Some days good, some days not so good. It's about finding that middle, both in baseball and in real life, I guess. 1-1. Swing and a miss. 1-2. Andrew Abbott gets the ball back from Pareda, his catcher, and licks at his left fingers. He's sitting on 9 strikeouts and one of the best starts of his life. A check to second and the 1-2. Taken inside and low, 2-2. Missed with the changeup. Rain starts to fall at a more consistent clip, but it's not a rain that's going to stop the game. 2 on, 1 out, bottom 7, 7-1 Louisville. The 2-2 pitch to Arauz. Low ball 3, 93 on the fastball from Abbott. This may be the last guy he faces. 96 pitches into the outing. There's a right-handed reliever for Louisville who was warming more consistently, and now he slows his pace. Check to second, 3-2. Taken. Low. Outside ball 4. Arauz walks. Abbott has walked 3 in the 7th, and the bases are loaded with 1 out.
Yeah, entered today with 11 walks in 25 innings, and now 3 walks here in the 7th. I mean, for sure the bats were hoping to, and Cincinnati, I'm sure, wanted to see, hey, first of all, when you're going as well as Abbott is going through 6 and you have a 6-run lead anyway, why not at least see what the guy can give you through the 7th? I mean, he's been your best option, and you know your bullpen has been iffy at times. Unfortunately for this, it doesn't work out. Something for Abbott, I suppose, to work on moving forward. Who's he looking at right now? Had some I don't know if he had some words for the home plate umpire or the third base Syracuse side. That was weird. I don't know if it was something to Lorenzo Cedrola, who played for Louisville last year. Interesting. Nonetheless.
Yep, they're going to go to the bullpen, Michael. That was kind of weird to watch. So bases loaded, 1 out, bottom 7. Let's hit a 60-second pitching change break and come back. Louisville up 7-1 on the score, 12-60. Bases loaded, 1 out, bottom 7. Pitch to Lorenzo Cedrola, taking low ball run. Ryan Nudoff is into the ball game. Stewart at third, Davis at second, Arauz at first. Rain starts to fall, and things get interesting for the first time today. 1-0. Outside and low, 2-0. Louisville can't throw a strike in this inning. Abbott leaves the game after the starter walks the bases loaded, and Ryan Nudoff out of the pen has thrown 2 straight balls to Cedrola. Righty on right. 2-0. Swinging a line. Drive caught at first by Encarnacion Strand, who throws to second to double off Davis and end the inning. Christian Encarnacion Strand just committed robbery. Cedrola hit a laser beam line drive on the right side of the infield, but Encarnacion Strand made a diving catch and threw to second to double off Davis and end the inning. On to the 8th, 7-1 Louisville. Benson at the plate. Michael, take us home, please.
All right, Eric Orzi's back to the mound for the Syracuse Mets. Top of the order for the Louisville Bats. And the first pitch on the outside corner against the left-handed batter for strike 1. Orzi came into the game in the 6th, gave up 1 unearned run because of a passed ball, and then pitched a scoreless 7th. 0-1, swinging a chopper to the right side, fielded by Mauricio. He lobs to first in time for the first out of the frame. So Benson's now 2 for 5, but both of the hits he had were RBI doubles. 2 of Louisville's 12 hits today. The Bats have scored 7 runs on 12 hits after yesterday scoring 17 runs on 19 hits. Here's Nick Martini, stands with a slightly open stance on the left-hand side, of the first pitch is over the plate for strike 1. Mets trail 7-1 as we begin the 8th. Syracuse had bases loaded, 1 out in the 7th, but did not score. 0-1. High for a ball. Mainly because Christian Encarnacion Strand made a diving catch and a line drive at first and then got a double play, doubling off the runner at second. Here's the 1-1. Martini takes, high and outside, ball 2. Louisville still with 7 runs, and yet it could be even more. The Bats have left 8 runners on base and are 3 for 11 with runners in scoring position after they went 8 for 19 yesterday. 2-1. Swing at a pop-up. Foul ground third base side and out of play to newly empty seats in the upper deck. 2 hours ago, the seats were filled. Sold out Education Day at the ballpark, but the kids have to go back to school to get on the bus to go home. Plus, the rain has started to come down. 2-2 on Nick Martini with 1 out here in the top of the 8th. Here's the pitch. Swinging a line drive into left field for a hit. Martini has his first hit today to go along with a walk, a sacrifice fly, and 2 other flyouts. So a 1-out base runner for Louisville with Ellie De La Cruz coming to the plate. I was talking to Jason Smurl before the game. He had the ruler out with a little piece of paper on the radar, tracking how quickly the storm is moving. And there are many things that Jason does well. One of the things at the top of the list is understanding the forecast and reading a radar to a T. Here's the first pitch to De La Cruz, swing and a miss, strike 1. Jason said, I think we're going to be all right. I think that this storm, if the tail end of it hits us, it's going to be right around 1 o'clock. And right around 1, we saw some sprinkles. It's coming down a little heavier now, 20 minutes later. Here's the 0-1 to De La Cruz. Just misses low for ball 1. When you work in baseball, especially if you're on the turf division here in Syracuse or if you're the general manager, I think one of the underrated parts of the job is knowing the weather. Throw goes over to first, and Martini gets back safely standing up.
Yeah, you become an amateur meteorologist working in any level of baseball, minor league baseball.
Here's the 1-1 to De La Cruz. Swing and a miss for strike 2. And if you do it long enough, I think you should just get an honorary degree in meteorology.
I mean, John Stewart should get one.
Al Roker graduated from Oswego. They hand out any honorary degrees for meteorology. Here's a throw to first, and Martini once again back safely standing up.
The only person I know who went to Oswego is Mark Rowlands. Unfortunately, I don't know Linda Cohn, Steve Levy, or Al Roker.
Well, you know them. You know of them.
Sure.
Here's the 1-2. Swing at a pop-up, foul ground, third base side, and out of play. Holding the count at 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Have we reached the point in the baseball game where we ask each other the most famous person on our phone?
I think I would win that. I'm actually pretty confident I would win that. I think I have 2
Joe
out.
Biden?
Wow, no.
Does Joe Biden even have his own phone?
They just called a balk, by the way. Everyone has a phone, right?
I don't think the president is allowed to have a phone. I saw an interview with Obama once where he said, yeah, I have a cell phone, but it has no features on it because they're concerned about national security.
Well, I think they have a bunch of, security measures on it, right? I mean, the president's tweet. Here's the 1-2. De La Cruz swings and misses for strike 3. So he strikes out for the first time today. 1 for 4, 1 for 3 today with a sac fly and a walk as well, plus a run scored. 2 away in the inning.
Off the top of my head, the most famous person on my phone is Doc Emmer.
Okay. Tim Tebow played for the team in 2019, and we had to deal with media requests, so I think
so
that's
you have
probably
Tim Tebow's phone.
Pitch here grounded towards short, fielded by Guillorme. Throw to first base is in time, and it ends the inning.
How do you know he still has the same number?
Well,
why don't we call him during the commercial break?
That's not going to happen. 7-1 Louisville in front. We go to the bottom of the 8th next on Valley Live, and the score 12-60. Back at NBT Bank Stadium in Syracuse, 7-1. Louisville leads over Syracuse. Mets have only managed 2 hits today. Fernando Cruz out of the bullpen for the Bats replaces Ryan Nudoff, who faced one batter in the 7th and got Lorenzo Cedrola to line out to a double play. Got the job done, even if it wasn't pretty. Righty on lefty matchup of the first pitch. Misses low for ball 1. Andrew Abbott was the story of this game. 6 1/3 innings of 2-hit, 1-run baseball. One of the 2 hits was a home run. That's Syracuse's lone run today, 1-0. Cortez takes. Low for ball 2. 3 walks, 9 strikeouts in just 6 1/3 innings for Abbott, who threw 97 pitches and 61 of them were strikes. 2-0 on Cortez. The pitch is over the plate for strike 1. Cortez had 3 hits yesterday, 2 doubles and a home run. Homer, his 2nd of the season. Cruz from the stretch. Here's the 2-1 pitch. That's low, ball 3. Well, we saw Syracuse score 6 runs in the 2nd inning yesterday. Mets hoping for a late comeback here today. Man, hope that they had something going last inning. 3-1, swinging a fly ball down the right field line, but this one's hooking foul and out of play. But unfortunately for Syracuse, Christian Encarnacion Strand made an excellent play over at first base to take away the hit. It's a 3-2 count on Cortez, who's 0 for 2 today with a pair of strikeouts. Here's the 3-2, and it's outside ball 4. So Carlos Cortez works the walk, and the Mets have the leadoff man on base for the 2nd straight inning. Last inning, the Mets loaded the bases on 3 walks. Again, Syracuse only has picked up 2 hits today. Meyer has one of those hits, picked up a 1-out single in the 6th. Cortez leads off of first. Here's the pitch to Meyer, and it is over the plate for strike 1. A little bit of rain coming down, and with the wind blowing, it just feels a little miserable. You wonder if it's tougher on the hitters or the pitcher. Suppose it's how long the pitcher's out there as well. 0-1, over the plate for strike 2. Yeah, if the pitcher's laboring through an inning, up to 25, 30 pitches out there for 10, 15 minutes, that could be a little more difficult. Here's the 0-2. Meyer checks his swing. Pitch missed, and Meyer did not go around on appeal to Tanner Moore, the first base umpire. Seven runs on 13 hits for the Louisville Bats. 1 run on only 2 hits for Syracuse. Cruz set. Here's the 1-2. Over the plate for a called strike 3. So Meyer's down on strikes. Syracuse has struck out 10 times today. And now the Mets are back to the top of the order with Danny Mendick at the plate. Fernando Cruz, 33-year-old right-handed thrower. Here's the first pitch to Mendick, swinging a looper. Shallow center field. De La Cruz is out from short. Ciani's in from center, and he makes the catch. And there's the 2nd out of the frame. Rain is coming down at a 45-degree angle almost. It's straightening out a little bit as the wind has died down a little. So here's Ronnie Mauricio. He bats from the left-hand side for the first time today. He was batting right-handed against the left-hand throwing Andrew Abbott. First pitch, swing and a miss for strike 1. Should get some clearer skies tonight, and the sun shining pretty much the rest of the week. This weekend is going to be just marvelous for Memorial Day weekend. 0-1 on Mauricio with a runner at first, and the pitch is outside for ball 1. Mauricio has reached base in 13 straight games, which is a season high for a Syracuse player, but he's 0 for 3 today. Might be his last opportunity to reach. Here's the 1-1, swing and a looper, right field, long run over for Will Benson, and the ball is down for a hit. Scoots by him for a moment. As Cortez heads to third, Ronnie Mauricio keeps the on-base streak alive with a single into right field. And Ronnie Mauricio has reached base and checked that 15 straight games now for the 22-year-old. Ronnie now up to 68 hits this season. He has hits in 20 of his last 23 games. And, well, let's see. Mets have runners on the corners for DJ Stewart, who has homered and walked today. Righty on lefty matchup. Here's the pitch from Cruz, swinging a rip foul, first base side. Man, it makes that catch that Encarnacion Strand made last inning so imperative. Syracuse would have probably scored 2 runs. It'd be 7-3 right now. Rain continues to come down. If the Mets could just get another runner or 2 on, make Cruz sit out there in this kind of windy, rainy conditions. Here's the 0-1. This is high for ball 1. Kind of one of those where the pitch clock actually probably helps the pitcher because the batters can't just call time and take their time outside the batter's box. 1-1 count on Stewart. Pitch is outside for ball 2. Cortez at third, Mauricio at first. Mets down 7-1 with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Cruz set. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Swinging a pop foul back behind home plate. Cruz appearing in just his second AAA game this season. Pitched a scoreless frame for Louisville earlier. Cincinnati, 10 appearances for Fernando Cruz, and he struggled. 2-2 on Stewart. Here comes the pitch, and it misses inside for ball 3 on a 94-mile-an-hour fastball. Jalen Davis is on deck. He walked last inning. Rain coming down a little bit harder here in the bottom of the 8th inning of a 7-1 ball game. Runners on the corners for Syracuse. DJ Stewart at the plate. Mauricio takes off. 3-2 is outside for ball 4, and Syracuse has the bases loaded for Jalen Davis.
By the way, I wonder how much longer we can keep playing here. I mean, this rain is coming down. It's not an insignificant rain. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, the field can definitely take it. It's consistent rain, but I think we'll be all right. Here's Jalen Davis. Here's the pitch. Swinging a pop foul, first base side out of play. Syracuse trails 7-1, but the Mets have loaded the bases. Syracuse always makes things interesting, if nothing else, in these games where they may be down late. 0-1 on Davis. Here's the pitch, and it's inside ball 1. One and one on Davis. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Mets have loaded the bases. Here's the 1-1 pitch, and it's over the plate for strike 2. Walk, single walk, with a strikeout and a flyout sandwiched in between. 1-2 count on Davis. He was 0 for 2 today, plus his walk last inning. 1-2 pitch. Swinging a grounder foul, first base side, into the Louisville dugout. With the rain coming down, only one person in the dugout visible. I believe that's Colin Hetzler on the third base side for Syracuse. Everybody else is in cover. Another 1-2 pitch coming to Jalen Davis. Here it is. Check swing, angled foul, first base side. That was a defensive swing to avoid getting hit by the pitch. And in this case, fortunately for Davis, he was able to hit that foul as opposed to just softly back to the mound. One ball and 2 strikes on Jalen Davis. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Pitch home. Swing at a line drive left field. This ball is down fair, and it's rolling all the way to the corner. Cortez scores. Mauricio scores. Here's DJ Stewart around third base, and he scores standing up. It's a 2-out, 3-run double for Jalen Davis, and the Mets are right back in this one. It is 7-4.
Says a lot about the makeup of the ball club the way the last 2 days have gone, right? You're down 9-0. You rally back at 1 point to take the lead. And then today, as Andrew Abbott continues to just twirl good inning after good inning, you get him out of the game, and now you find life. This game's not over.
Mets down by 3. Luis Guillorme coming to the plate, and Pat Kelly has seen enough from Fernando Cruz. Going to the bullpen. A rainy, windy Wednesday morning turned afternoon. We'll step aside for 60 seconds for the pitching change break and be back after this on Bally Live with the score 12-60. We're back at NBT Bank Stadium where the Syracuse Mets have certainly made a game of this. And, I mean, maybe some people would be surprised, certainly not me. I don't think you're surprised either, Evan, as Syracuse has made this comeback. Ricky Karcher out of the bullpen for the Louisville Bats. He is set to face Luis Guillorme with a runner at second base and 2 outs. And the Syracuse Mets, who were down 7-1, scoring 3 runs there in the 8th, now down 7-4. Jalen Davis is at second. Luis Guillorme is 0 for 3 today with 3 strikeouts. But all of those were against Andrew Abbott, a left-handed thrower. Guillorme stands with a slightly open stance. The first pitch is inside for ball 1. Guillorme has reached base in all 4 games he's played with Syracuse. Hoping to extend that today. 1-0, swinging a liner foul, third base side out of play. Well, earlier this inning we said Mauricio coming to the plate, maybe it would be his last opportunity to extend his on-base streak, and he did with a single. He's been on base 15 straight games. But maybe Mauricio will have another shot. Here's the 1-1. Outside ball 2. Told you with this rain, I think it affects the pitchers more than it does the hitters. And you know, the longer Fernando Cruz was out there, the more he labored. And now we'll see what Karcher can do. He was out there in the right field bullpen. 2-1 on the inside corner for a strike. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Luis Guillorme. Jalen Davis is at second. 7-4 ball game with Louisville in front. Here comes the 2-2 pitch, and it's low and in for ball 3. 2 outs, bottom of the 8th inning. Syracuse with 3 runs home. Andrew Abbott went 6 1/3, and over the last 3 outs, Louisville now needing 3 pitchers. Here's the 3-2. Guillorme swings and pops it foul, third base side out of play. The one thing that always impressed us about Guillorme is the type of approach he takes at the plate. There's some guys you could just tell that they're major leaguers just based on how they look in the field and how they look at the plate, spoiling such good pitches, working long plate appearances. That's what we're seeing from Guillorme here. Here's another 3-2, and it's high for ball 4. Guillorme works the walk, and the Mets have runners at first and second. Don't look now, but the tying runs at the plate in the form of Jonathan Arauz, who may not be known for his power, but hit 2 home runs yesterday.
Yeah, drove in 5, and hey, he had that moment yesterday, the go-ahead 3-run opposite field home run, which made it 11-10 Mets at the time. What an odd inning, honestly. You kind of look away, pick your head up, and go, oh my goodness, it's a baseball game again. What's going on?
Arauz batting left-handed, first pitch on the inside corner, strike 1. And again, if not for Christian Encarnacion Strand, this would be a 7-6 ball game at worst for Syracuse.
It feels like last inning the Mets had more in their back pocket if not for that play.
Here's the 0-1. Outside ball 1 and Arauz. Lorenzo Cedrola on deck. He is the one that lined out to first, hit the ball more than 100 miles off the bat where it was caught. Right now it's Arauz. Mets have runners at first and second with 2 outs. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss. Good off-speed pitch from Karcher. So it's a 7-4 ball game. 1-2 on Jonathan Arauz. Runners at first and second for the Mets. The rain continuing to come down. The wind blowing. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fastball popped foul back into the left at 97 miles an hour. Arauz spoiling another good pitch. Two outs, bottom of the 8th. Mets have scored 3 in this frame. They trail by 3. The tying run's at the plate. Here's the 1-2. Outside for ball 2. Second different pitcher used this inning. Fernando Cruz started this frame, but gave up 2 hits and walked 2 batters. Karcher walked Guillorme, and now it's 2-2 on Arauz. Here's the pitch. Swing and a rip foul down the right field line, heading for the Metropolitan Club. 105 off the bat. It was listed at 333 feet as an estimated distance. Fortunately, Arauz didn't keep this one fair. Golfed a home run yesterday just down the line that snuck around the foul pole. 2-2 count here. Pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. A nasty changeup to get Arauz and end the inning. But the Mets, if nothing else, have made a game out of this. 3 runs in the 8th to cut the deficit in half. It is 7-4. Louisville in front on Bally Live, and the score 12-60. Thanks for the sports update, Kara. That's Kara Avery back in our Score 1260 studios with Evan Stockton, Michael Tricarico at the ballpark, where the Louisville Bats have a 7-4 lead over the Syracuse Mets. Syracuse has made a call to the bullpen. John Curtis replaces Eric Orsi, who is pretty darn good. In 3 innings, he allowed 3 hits and an unearned run, 1 walk, and 5 strikeouts for Orsi, who threw 50 pitches and 35 of them were strikes. Syracuse scored 3 runs in the bottom of the 8th to cut a 6-run deficit in half. 7-4 Louisville. Matt Reynolds leads off. First pitch from John Curtis is low for ball 1. Curtis is split time between AAA Syracuse and the major leagues with the New York Mets. Reynolds, meanwhile, has been 0 for 3 today with a walk. 1-0. That's over the plate for strike 1. Rain continues to fall with the wind blowing. We've got the windows closed, which is a real rarity for us. 1-1, low for ball 2. I mean, heck, in March and April, we had windows open even when it was cold. It's just this wind blowing straight in also blows the rain in.
Yeah.
And, well, I'm going to blame it on the laptops we have. Can't be getting those wet.
Yes.
That would be a bit of an issue. Here's the 2-1 to Reynolds, and it's inside ball 3. Reynolds, in high school, not just a really good baseball player, but a basketball player who was being recruited by some Division I schools in the Midwest. 3-1, low ball 4. So Reynolds works a leadoff walk in the 9th. And there's a runner on for TJ Hopkins. Fortunately, I think the memories for the kids who are out here will not be of rain because they are already back at their schools or at least on their way there. Education Day number 1 at the ballpark. Our second Education Day is in June. First pitch to Hopkins. Popped up foul. First base side out of play. It'll be the second week of June. Mets are, after this week, in Rochester, where the weather's supposed to be really, really nice next week. Then we're on the road in Buffalo and then in Durham, back-to-back weeks before returning home near the end of June, 01. That is outside for a ball. I should say we're in Rochester, then we're back home, and that's when the Education Day is, and then on the road for 2 weeks in June to end the first half of the season. It's somewhat hard to believe that we're almost halfway through. Pitch popped foul back into the right. 1 ball and 2 strikes on TJ Hopkins. He's 2 for 4 today, flat out to center field twice, and then singled his last 2 times to the plate. Here's the 1-2 to Hopkins. Swinging a fly ball. Hit in the air to right. Jalen Davis going back, but he's got plenty of room, and he makes the catch. That seemed well struck from Hopkins, but again, with the wind blowing in and the rain, ball just didn't carry. So fly out to right, and now here's Michael Ciani. Ciani's 1 for 3 today. Double pop-out, walk, fly-out. Reynolds at first after the leadoff walk. Here's the pitch to Ciani, and it's hitting the air foul. Third base side out of play. I saw Evan online. You know, sometimes you get these hypotheticals people put out there. Like, you've got $1 million on the line, and you have to pick one of these 4 options. Here's the 0-1 to Ciani. Outside ball 1. I believe it was Aaron Judge walk-off home run, Steph Curry game-winning 3-point shot, Rory McIlroy up and down from the bunker, and there was one more that I'm forgetting. Here's the 1-1. High for ball 2. In my mind, I mean, out of those 3, I think the 4th was, what's another? It was, I think it was something football-related. I don't know. Tom Brady game-winning drive of the 4th quarter. I'm not sure. I don't think that's what it was. 2-1, misses the zone for ball. But out of those 3, the 4th one was, in my mind, also just the percentage of it happening wasn't great. I mean, in my mind, you have to go with the up and down from Rory, right? With Steph Curry making a 3-pointer coming second. I mean, just from a percentage standpoint. The chance of a game-winning home run, even from the best home run hitter, is just it's not a high percentage.
Yeah.
3-1 over the plate, strike 2.
Just the odds of hitting a home run, right?
Right. I mean,
yeah.
I think I saw something as well where it was you've got a shot at $1 million. You can either make an 8-foot putt or you have to hit the fairway from 150 yards out. 3-2 here on Ciani. Throw goes to first. And the question is, what would you pick?
I don't know.
I think it has to be the fairway, right? There's more margin for error. 8-foot putt with the nerves and everything.
Yeah.
That could be tough.
I'm a pretty good putter, though.
Here's the 3-2. Low ball 4. I mean, you know my mini golf game. I pride myself on the putting.
So next week when we go to Rochester, because they just held the PGA Championship, we're going to golf? I feel like we have to, right?
There's also, I was told, a really good and old mini golf course. It's like 25 minutes north, I think, of Rochester, but it's in that area. I don't know. Might have to make a trip. One of the oldest mini golf courses in the country, I heard. I'm gonna have to fact check that. First pitch to Johnny Pareda, lifted in the air, foul. First base side out of play for a strike.
My mission next week is to talk to every single member of the Rochester Red Wings front office and be like, look, do you know anyone who knows anyone at Oak Hill Country Club?
Got to find a member there is who you have to find.
How much am I going to have to pay, though?
Here's the 0-1 to Pareda. Swinging a fly ball foul. Wasn't this a question earlier? I don't know if we were talking about it. Like, how much would you pay to play at Augusta?
I'd pay $5,000.
$5,000? Wow.
$5,000.
Wow.
I would dip into the savings account, and I would pay $5,000 to shoot a 110 at Augusta.
See, I would want to get better at golf. Like, not even like, oh, I want to be like shooting 80s. I just want to be respectable at Augusta. 0-2. Pareda takes. I just want to be respectable. Period at golf.
Just play the up tees. Who cares? No, seriously, who cares?
No, I don't even mean that. I just mean like hit a ball straight. You know my slice. If I'm aiming for the left field foul pole, it'll end up down the right field line.
You got to pull a me and just play into the slice, dude.
No, I do. Trust me, I do. Here's the 1-2 to Pareda. Called strike 3 on the inside corner. Johnny Pareda strikes out, and there's 2 away.
So I'm a left-handed golfer. I bat lefty in baseball. I shoot a hockey puck left, and I swing a golf club left, although I do everything else right. Again, I'm a bit of an oddity. So my slice, right? You'll see this when we play golf. I just play into the slice, Michael.
Here's Alejo Lopez in the first pitch, hitting the air down the left field line, but hooking foul. The Worcester crew was in town last year at one point, and I forget why. Maybe you were out of town. You couldn't go, so it was with Tyler Murray, and we went, and there was a par 3 hole, and there were trees to the left side, and because I knew I would slice it, 1 misses low, I just aimed for the trees.
Yeah.
and it went through the trees, and we just didn't see it after that, so I'm going, crap. So we're looking around for the ball. I hit a second shot that went right. It really did slice a long way right. So Tyler's looking on the left side. I'm going to the right side looking for the second ball I hit. And all of a sudden, I see Tyler kind of waving. And I'm like, oh, you found the ball. He's like, you'll never guess where it was. And I was like, somewhere in the weeds over there. He's like, no, look to the green. And there it was, like 5 feet from the hole. Couldn't believe it. I don't know how we didn't see it come back. 1-1 to Lopez is outside ball 2. You're right. You got to play into the slice. It's just a lot of wasted energy, I feel like, though. I mean, you're certainly not the shortest distance between one point and the other.
Well, I hit my drives like 220, and I like to imagine if I could actually hit the ball straight, I'd hit it like 270. I'm losing 50 yards every time.
Yeah. Here's the 2-1 to Lopez. Swinging a fly ball, hitting the air to right. Long one back for Jalen Davis. It's over his head against the base of the wall. Reynolds around third. He scores. Here's the throw to second. It's not in time. Ciani went to third, and Alejo Lopez has a 2-out RBI double to give Louisville a 4-run lead. It is 8-4 bats.
And I got a feeling that's going to be a big run. Just a sneaking suspicion. But, yeah, so I play my golf game with this wicked slice. It goes from right to left as a left-handed swinger. And every time, I complain about it, my dad will go, oh, why don't you go get lessons? He doesn't get it. I don't play golf to be good at it. I play golf to put away my phone for 4.5 hours, smoke a cigar, and have a nice day.
Here's Will Benson. First pitch on the inside corner, strike 1.
I'm allowed to promote smoking now in the air because the kids aren't here anymore.
Okay.
And if anybody's listening, it's terrible for you, kids. Don't do it.
All right.
It's absolutely horrible. It's a horrific habit. Don't do it.
Here's the 0-1 to Benson. Swinging a pop foul back into the left for strike 2. Benson 2 for 5 today with a pair of RBI doubles. Golf can be frustrating, though, can it? Don't you want to be
be frustrating?
Yeah, but that's why. Isn't that why your dad's saying just get lessons? So it's
play the sport to stay humble, man. Don't play it to be good.
Here's the 0-2 to Benson. Swinging a ground ball back to the mound. Curtis Fields throws to first in time. It ends the inning. A batter too late. Couple of walks, then the 2-out double from Lopez. 8-4 Louisville. Last chance for Syracuse when we return for the bottom of the ninth on the score 1260 and Bally Live. Bottom of the ninth inning at NBT Bank Stadium in Syracuse. Last chance for the Mets, trailing 8-4. Syracuse has had some, missed opportunities or opportunities taken away from them. Lorenzo Cedrola, last time he was at the plate, bases loaded, 1 out. Cedrola lined a ball that first baseman Christian Encarnacion Strand laid out to catch and then double off Jalen Davis at second. First pitch to Cedrola here, misses the zone for ball 1. That would have scored 2 runs, and at the time made it a 7-3 game, and then Syracuse scored 3 runs last inning. Woulda, shoulda, coulda, and all the what-ifs. You never know. Here's the 1-0. Cedrola takes outside ball 2. Ricky Karcher's back to the mound, his second inning, although he only faced 2 batters last inning. Walked 1 and then struck out Jonathan Arauz to end the frame. Here's the 2-0 to Cedrola. Over the plate, strike 1. It's Lorenzo Cedrola, Carlos Cortez, Nick Meyer, although I have a sneaking suspicion that if Meyer's spot will come up, I wonder if Michael Perez would pinch hit. 2-1 is outside ball 3. Only from a standpoint of Michael Perez is a left-handed batter, and you're facing a right-handed pitcher. So just for a better matchup in that sense. We'll see. Here's the 3-1 to Cedrola, swinging a rip foul, third base side. 97-mile-an-hour fastball, and Cedrola was out in front of it. That's impressive. Cedrola playing against his former team.
hitting .282 in 32 games this season. 0 for 3 today, again with the one hit stolen away from him. So it's 3-2 on Lorenzo, leading off the bottom of the ninth in an 8-4 game. 3-2 pitch, swing at a clip foul, third base side. Count holds full at 3-2. Second game of a 6-game series. Mets took 3 of the last 4 against Norfolk, the International League's top team. And you're feeling confident coming into this week. You scored 12 runs yesterday, but lose 17-12. Down 8-4 today. Here's the 3-2. Swing at a looper towards shallow right. Reynolds back from second. Ball's down for a hit. Lorenzo Cedrola with a hit. He just continues to hit here in Syracuse. Cedrola hitting .321 over his last 26 games. He now has hits in 20 of his last 27. And the Mets have a runner on base with nobody out and Carlos Cortez coming to the plate. Nick Meyer, by the way, is in the on-deck circle. Cortez bats from the left-hand side. Cedrola leading off of first. Here's the pitch. And it's on the inside corner, strike one. Cortez today is 0 for 2 with a walk. Pitch. Blowing outside, ball one. Cortez went 3 for 5 yesterday with 2 doubles and a home run. Here's the 1-1. This is outside for ball 2. I know for a moment the Hawkeye system with a full ABS system had gone down, so the home plate umpire was calling balls and strikes himself. Might be back up now. Here's the 2-1. Outside ball 3. So here we go. The rain is not coming down as hard as it was, but it's still coming down consistently. Karcher pitched again to 2 batters in the 8th. He took his time coming back out for this 9th inning. Already 1 runner on. It's a 3-1 count on Carlos Cortez. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Swing and a clip foul. Ooh, and it caught Johnny Pareda behind the plate. Caught his leg, it looked like. Gave a motion over to the first base dugout, though, as if to say, hey, I'm okay. Can stay in the dugout. We're fine. Although I think the PitchCom device might now be somewhat malfunctioning.
Sure, the rain doesn't help with that.
Yeah, I don't know. Karcher held, or a strap. Maybe it was a strap from his catching gear. Whatever. Maybe a strap from the right side of his catcher's gear. Or it might have been the PitchCom system, and now he's just going out to the pitcher to say, hey, here's what our signals are going to be. We're going old school with fingers to indicate pitches. And I think Karcher said, really? Is this, we have to do this? He was, because Pareda was like gave the motion. I can't, I'm not, it's tough to read the lips. And it's like charades over here. It just seemed that Karcher's like, wait, what? We're doing this? Why? And Pareda said, well, the device, he like pointed to the dugout saying, I don't have it. I don't have the, it could totally be wrong, but that's just what it seems like. I don't know. Anyway. It's a 3-2 count on Carlos Cortez. Cedrola's over at first in an 8-4 game. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 96-mile-an-hour fastball. Good response from Ricky Karcher. Picks up his second strikeout. There's one away with Nick Meyer coming to the plate. Meyer bats from the right-hand side. He's 1 for 3 today. Ground out, single strikeout. Top of the order on deck with Danny Mendick there for Syracuse. Here's the first pitch to Meyer. Off speed on the inside corner for strike 1. Syracuse trails 8-4. Mets scored 3 runs in the 8th, gave up a run in the 9th. Here comes the 0-1 to Meyer. Breaking ball, inside ball 1. Boy, just looking at the score in the Scranton-Wilkes-Barre-Worcester game, I think Worcester scored 10 or 11 runs yesterday. Well, Scranton-Wilkes-Barre has come back with a vengeance. They're up 15-2 in the 9th.
Ooh.
Pitch to Meyer, outside ball 2. Said yesterday, what, it was Toronto that beat Tampa 20-1?
Yeah.
Yesterday, yeah.
Yeah, tough day at the office for the Rays.
Someone had asked me earlier whether Ronnie Mauricio still had more hits than anybody in baseball, majors and minors included. And I said, I don't think so, considering Bo Bichette leads the majors. 2-1, lifted in the air towards center field. Ciani started in, he goes back, and he makes the catch. And there's 2 away in the inning. I said, I don't think so, because the Blue Jays scored 20 runs, and Bo Bichette leads the majors in hits. And, well, he plays for the Blue Jays, and I assume he had gotten more than a couple of hits in that game. Yeah, Bo Bichette had 3 hits yesterday for Toronto. Syracuse down to its final out. 8-4 Louisville. Here's Danny Mendick. First pitch. High for ball 1. You know, what's amazing in this game is Syracuse is down 8-4, and they only have 5 hits. But it's like 1 or 2 plays go the other way, and Syracuse could, like, have a lead. 1-0. It's over the plate for strike 1. That Cedrola ball that he hit that was caught, that scores 2. You're talking about an 8-6 game. Louisville gets that 2-out hit in the 9th. It's 7-6. Here's the 2-0 fouled straight back for strike 1. Then you got Cedrola at first, who could steal second. I mean, it's a lot of what-ifs, but it also goes to show that for as poorly as Syracuse offense has been, they still score 4 runs. I mean, that's this offense, right? Like, good luck shutting them down for a full game, and the team's going to be disappointed, but you still score 4 runs. That is not nothing. 2-1 on Mendick. Here's the pitch. It's outside for ball 3.
That is not nothing.
Yeah.
Is that... I'm just scarred because growing up, my mom would always get on me if I'd have incorrect grammar, so I'm just sitting here like...
It's not a double negative, right?
I think we're good, buddy. I think we're good.
Here's the 3-1. Mendick takes. High ball 4. So Danny Mendick works a walk. I mean, look, the game's not over yet. But it's also why you said that 1 run that Syracuse gave up in the top of the 9th, they might be kicking themselves for it. If not for that 1 run, Syracuse would have Ronnie Mauricio at the plate as the tying run. Going to have a conversation at the mound. Virgil Vasquez, the Louisville pitching coach, coming out to have a word with Karcher as Mauricio is set to come to the plate. Now, you do have DJ Stewart on deck. So if Mauricio can get on, DJ Stewart has 8 home runs, which for players that are currently on Syracuse's roster is the team lead. Mark Vientos is 13 home runs, lead the team for the season, but Vientos is up in the major leagues. You do have some movement in the Louisville bullpen. I believe that Daniel Duarte, who is warming, he closed the door for Louisville yesterday. So here we go with Ronnie Mauricio, hoping to extend this game and bring the tying run to the plate. You have Cedrola at second, Mendick at first. It's 8-4 Louisville. Mauricio is 1 for 4 today, and the first pitch is outside ball 1. Ronnie had 2 hits yesterday. He has multiple hits in 22 out of 46 games this season. Looking to make it 23 out of 47. 1-0 on Mauricio. In an 8-4 game, the pitch, swing and a miss. Good slider from Karcher. Mauricio missed, so it's 1-1. Eight for Louisville. 2 outs, bottom of the 9th. 1-1 on Mauricio. With an 8-4 Louisville lead. Here's the 1-1. Called strike. on the inner half, and it's 1-2. Four-seam fastball at 96 miles an hour. DJ Stewart's on deck. He is the tying run. Mets trail by 3 with Mauricio at the plate. Here comes the 1-2. Swing at a clip foul, first base side. You know, we talked coming into this season about Mauricio's strikeout issues in Double-A last year, where Ronnie struck out 125 times in 123 games. Which you play so many games. I mean, 101 strikeout per game is not horrible, but it's still more elevated than where he wanted it to be. And Mauricio this season, 32 strikeouts in 46 games. Only 9 walks, though. It's a 1-2 count right now with runners at first and second. Rain still coming down. Mets trail 8-4. Here in the bottom of the ninth, the 1-2 is low for ball 2. Good check swing from Mauricio and a changeup that dipped below the zone. Changeup at 91. I mean, you got a changeup here from Ricky Karcher that is faster than some pitchers throw a fastball, but when he could throw 96, 97, that 91-mile-an-hour changeup is a really good change of pace. 2 outs, bottom of the ninth. Syracuse down 8-4. Runners at first and second. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. A tantalizing slider coming inside on the left hand, hitting Mauricio, and it ends the ball game. 8-4, Louisville beats Syracuse